I'll let this populate for a second, then we'll start the pregame. Share it out. From Bailey Park in Uniontown, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the Tribble Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. This evening from Bailey Park, the Uniontown Red Raiders, 4-6 overall, 3-4 in conference play, host the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. The Wildcats, 11-1 overall, undefeated in the conference at 7-0. Brian Morozak along with you. Gary Frankhauser joining me for all of the exciting play-by-play action tonight. Billy Dice behind the camera in our Facebook Live video stream. And our pregame show, as always, being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group. And insurance agent David Hughes will get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. And Gary, the second game of a two-game series between Uniontown and Greater Latrobe. The Wildcats bested the Red Raiders last night at Graham Sabota Field as Dom Carini hit a controversial walk-off home run in the bottom of the seventh inning for the Wildcats, 2-1 win.
That's the word from the Uniontown side.
Correct.
Anyway, but from the Latrobe side, it was definitely a walk-off, and the coaches down below before the game were very cordial to each other, so I guess they all put that behind them, and tonight's game is going to mean a lot more for the Red Raiders than the Latrobe Wildcats. But Latrobe has played very well all season, and I'm sure they're looking to maintain their undefeated status in the conference for that seeding purposes at the end of the season.
Yeah, talking to Uniontown head coach Kenny Musco after the game last night, he said he's confident the ball bounced over the wall and should have been a ground rule double and not a home run. And even the announcers on the Latrobe video feed agree that it appeared the ball bounced over the wall instead of flying over the wall. But as you said, Gary, the play was ruled a home run, and the Wildcats remain perfect in conference play.
And they have been very aggressive throughout the year. They've scored a lot of runs and 10 run to a lot of teams, and their pitching has been very consistent throughout the seasons. They have a very deep pitching staff, and tonight we're going to see Luke Nipar-Smith, number 31, on the mound for Latrobe, and he has been very effective throughout the season against number 7, Austin Grego, for the Uniontown Red Raiders.
And Grego actually picked up the loss last night. Tate Musco got the start, was solid for 6 innings, just gave up 1 run. Grego came in the 7th inning and unfortunately gave up that home run to Dom Carini.
Well, it was unfortunate to say the least, and the Red Raiders, I think, will be have more incentive here tonight to get back on the winning track.
Yeah, you look right now, Gary, at the Section 2 4A standings. Latrobe still at the top of the conference, 7-0 in conference play, 11-1 overall. Bell Vernon, 6-1 in the conference, 9-2 overall. The Leopards' only conference loss came against Ringgold last week. Uniontown and Albert Gallatin tied for third place in the conference. Both the Red Raiders and the Colonials entered play today. 3-4 in conference play. Uniontown 4-6 overall. Albert Gallatin 3-9 overall. And Ringgold, after their win yesterday over Laurel Highlands, still in the mix for a playoff spot. 4-7 overall, 2-5 in the conference. Did not get a final score yet of the Ringgold Laurel Highlands game from earlier on today. So if the Rams did pick up a win over the Mustangs, and they're sitting at 3-5 and in a pretty good position right now as well. And Laurel Highlands entered play today, 0-10 overall, 0-7 in the conference. Albert Gallatin also under the lights tonight up in Rostraver Township, taking on Bell Vernon. Of course, Greater Latrobe here at Uniontown and Laurel Highlands played at Ringgold earlier on this afternoon. We mentioned the Wildcats' 2-1 win over Uniontown last night. night. Greater Latrobe swept the Red Raiders last year, winning by scores of 5-2 and 4-0. And you mentioned the pitching matchup this afternoon, Gary. Kniper Smith on the mound for Greater Latrobe. Grego's been pretty solid for Uniontown as well throughout the course of the season, and he should give the Red Raiders some pretty good innings tonight.
Absolutely. He gave them some very good innings his last outing here at Uniontown with a lot of strikeouts and swing and misses. So he'll be looking for that again here this evening. And as you said, a 2-1 ball game last night, which was a very much of a pitcher's duel, but had to go to the bullpen late in the game for Tate Musco. Austin Grego, you have to give him some credit. He came in a tough situation to try to secure a win, possibly go into extra innings, and it just wasn't to be.
Of course, as always, our pregame show presented by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change your car, your driver, your address, plus seriously good service. Now, that's something to smile about. Your local Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Draver Township is the Sprouse Insurance Group. Phone 724-437-9812 or go to Sprouseinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed continued insurance coverage and not available in all states. At Uniontown Printing Press, they're more than just T-shirts. They're all about you and everything you love. And, of course, they are local. Operated by Mookie John and Kenny Musco, they share the passion with your group, club, or team, the excitement you have for your event or cause, and that makes your business stand out from the rest. Uniontown Printing Press believes the custom T-shirts do more than just make you look good. They help you feel good and inspire you to do good. You can call Uniontown Printing Press at 724-366-7095. That's 724-366-7095. Are you down with UPP? Gary has your batting lineup now for Greater Latrobe and the defense for the Uniontown Red Raiders tonight.
Thanks, Brian. Leading off for Latrobe will be number 8, Mason Leonard. He's playing left field. Batting second, number 9, Louis Amatucci. He's the catcher. In the third spot, number 3, Jacob Kramer, and he's playing first base. In the fourth spot, number 31, Luke Nipar-Smith. He's the pitcher and batting cleanup. In the fifth spot, number 13, Brody Ruman, he's the second baseman for Latrobe. In the sixth spot, number 4, Eli Boring, playing center field. In the seventh spot, number 11, Dom Carini, in right field. In the eighth spot, number 7, Vince Gasky is the designated hitter. And number 21, running out the lineup, Cooper Bassiano, he is the shortstop. Defensively for Uniontown, around the outfield, number 23, Braden Hinsey, plays left field. In center field, number 24, Cam Jackson. In right field tonight, number 2, Luke Gresh. Around the infield, at third base, number 99, Wyatt Nels. At shortstop, number 34, Tyler Gasper. And at second base, number 10, Mason Kuhn. At first base, number 26, Tate Musco. And as we said, on the mound, number 7, Austin Grego, delivering the pitches to the catcher, number 1, Hunter Smiley.
Donald M. Miller Incorporated has been providing quality service to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, and Ohio since 1945. Their workforce is trained in all areas of roofing installation, including asphalt shingles, standing seam metal, slate, copper, EPDM roofing, and they also do gutter and other specialty metal installations. They do both residential and commercial projects of any size. Feel free to call their office at 724-438-8071. That's 724-438-8071 and speak to Donnie or Doug Miller about your next roofing project. You can contact attorney Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr, a full-service law firm which can assist you in all of your legal needs with an office located on Morrell Avenue in Connellsville. The team at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr prides itself in its ability to professionally and aggressively address your legal matters, meeting with you as soon as possible and returning your telephone calls in a prompt fashion. Contact Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr at 724-628-7955. That's 724-628-7955. If you're ready to start that spring project, that renovation, that addition, struggling to find the right construction team to meet your needs, looking for commitment, dedication, and quality, then it's time to make the call to AK Contracting, the 2023-2024 winner in the Best in Fayette for Best Home Builder and Best Remodeler and Contractor. Owner Aaron Kreisig is ready to help you make your next home renovation dreams a reality. Contact AK Contracting today at 724-550-0411. Don't settle for OK. Call AK today. And Gary, looks like the rain's going to hold off here this evening. Really don't expect to see any kind of showers until about 11 o'clock or midnight tonight. We're expecting a nice night for high school baseball. Let's pause for the national anthem. And we're set for high school baseball this afternoon. The Uniontown Red Raiders and the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. The Red Raiders looking for revenge after that Greater Latrobe 2-1 win over Uniontown last night at Graham Sabota Field in Westmoreland County. We mentioned Austin Grego on the mound for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Let's take a look at some of his pitching numbers so far this season. For Grego, this will already be his 8th appearance. Enters the game with a 1-2 record, 4.44 ERA. Grego so far this year has worked 17 1/3 innings, given up 16 hits, 11 runs, all of them earned. And Gary, he struck out 21 and walked only 2 so far this season. You can't beat that strikeouts to walks ratio.
Absolutely. We talked about that in the pregame. He gets a lot of swing and misses, and he knows how to waste pitches when the time is necessary. So he has a very smart approach on the mound, and that's going to be imperative here this evening facing the Wildcats. And the question that nobody can answer, Brian, when you live there, it's Latrobe. When they come here, it's Latrobe.
Yes. We've seen that a couple of times. We were actually joking about that before we went on the air today about different pronunciations. And one was the Thero kid that played for Quaker Valley. And the family told me they said his name different in Kentucky than they did at Quaker Valley as well. So you kind of get that from time to time depending on where you're floating around.
Yep, tomato.
Yes.
Right?
And for the Wildcats, they'll have Mason Leonard, Louis Amatucci, and Jacob Kramer due up here in this top half of the first inning. And, Gary, this was the Greater Latrobe team that was in the WPIAL championship game just a year ago, and they've really proven themselves over the last couple of years as really a solid baseball program.
Absolutely, maintaining the momentum here this season. As you said, undefeated in the section, just one loss. That's going to put them in great position going into the playoffs if they can maintain that status.
And you're likely going to have 12 or 13 teams in the 4A field, just depending if you have any fourth-place ties with just 3 conferences.
Just 1 week left in the season,
Correct, yes.
So that'll all be determined next week. And Uniontown will, if they could pull off a win here today, that would be huge.
Correct.
Moving
pretty
them
much
in,
put them in a pretty safe position as far
playing
as
Laurel
qualifying.
Highlands
Yes.
twice next week.
Yes. Certainly put them in a good spot. Latrobe last year was able to reel off wins over Kiski area, Char Valley, and Montour before losing to Hopewell in that WPIAL championship game. They exited the first round of the state playoffs, losing to Bellefonte 10-9. That was a bit of a surprise, and they'll look for maybe even a deeper run into the state playoffs here this year. As Mason Leonard will lead things off, he's batting .447, has driven in 11 runs so far this season. Junior left fielder on the first pitch from Austin Grego, and therefore a strike 0-1. And Gary, we have a scoreboard that's operating tonight.
Oh, you got to love it. Might see a home run over a lit scoreboard tonight.
Yes, they count 0-1 again. Thanks to all the folks in the city of Uniontown and at the Uniontown Athletic Department, the baseball team, for getting everything going for us. As once again, Grego finds the strike zone to Leonard, takes the count to 0-2.
Using heat early here.
And now Grego trying to make quick work of Mason Leonard.
Good position to waste one here.
Line and fire the 0-2. That one just off the plate.
Misses.
Moves the count to 1-2. And the game time temperature hovering around 70 degrees here tonight. Don't expect any kind of precipitation until well after this game is wrapped up. 1-2 pitch now on the way, and Leonard hits this one high in the air to right field, moving over towards the wall and diving, and able to come up with it there is Luke Gresh. Leonard rounding second. He's on his way to third. The relay coming in from Gresh will allow Leonard to get down to third base.
Well, Gresh got there, but just had a very difficult time just kind of stumbling and not able to put the glove on the ball. So we got to rule that a triple, Brian.
Yes. So Leonard a leadoff triple to right. And the Wildcats here on the road in business with nobody out. In the top of the first inning with Leonard now down at third and Louis Amatucci coming to the plate. And now Grego out of the stretch. Clean look at Leonard over at third. First pitch here to Amatucci. A little bit high above the letters for ball one. Amatucci, the senior catcher, enters the game with a 129 average and 4 runs driven in so far this season.
But you got to believe he's a good contact
Yes.
hitter in that second position behind Leonard.
Now the 1-0 from Grego to Amatucci, a fastball, and that one is in there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. As you said, Gary, the Wildcats, look at some of the results so far this season, been rather dominant. Uniontown's one of the few teams that's been able to give Latrobe a close game as they did last night and at Graham Sabota Field. And now the 1-1 pitch on the way. misses low to Amatucci. And I think that really credits Tate Musco and the job he did on the mound last night. We talked about it last week as well, I think, with Tate or even Austin Grego pitching, and gives the Mustangs the Red Raiders an opportunity to really beat anyone, especially in a first-round playoff game.
I agree completely, and Tate especially has been very dominant. They have some really special strikeout pitchers, and there's another strike.
Yeah, it took a little bit off that one, did Grego, and Amatucci just looked at it, and the pitch right down the pipe for a strike to even up the count at 2-2. Nobody out. Greater Latrobe, leadoff triple from Mason Leonard. Looking to score the game's first run. Louis Amatucci at the plate. And now Grego from the stretch. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball just missed low and outside. Now we're full of 3-2. And the Red Raiders will wrap up conference play next week. Series against Laurel Highlands. Greater Latrobe. They will battle for first place next week. Gary, series with Bell Vernon.
I believe that was probably a purposeful schedule.
Yes. If the WPIAL could predict who the top two teams in the section would be. Payoff pitch here to Amatucci. Foul ball down the third baseline. And we're in our normal position as well, perched right above third base in the relatively new press box they built for these broadcasts. We appreciate the Uniontown baseball staff taking care of us over the last couple of years, getting this installed. Dennis Martin and his team did a nice job of the construction up here as well. Another 3-2 pitch on the way, and that ball misses for ball 4. So Greater Latrobe, their first two batters, Leonard with a triple, Amatucci with a walk, and they have 2 on and nobody out with Jacob Kramer coming to the plate.
Already 11 pitches and nobody out here in the first inning for Grego.
The Mustangs the Red Raiders have to try to buckle things down here a little bit. Greater Latrobe's lone loss came against Hempfield back on March 28th. A score of 9-6.
It's probably snowing that.
Yes. Actually had some wins over Wadsworth and Talmadge, Ohio. Even before that, our opening game, a 1-0 win over Connellsville, a program that's also playing some pretty good baseball, as Jacob Kramer takes the first pitch for a strike from Austin Grego. The count at 0-1. Latrobe last week downing Albert Gallatin by scores of 8-1 and 10-0, and then beat Laurel Highlands 16-2.
Amatucci with a nice lead out there at first. You might see him take off.
We'll watch Amatucci, as Gary said, he's running. The 0-1 pitch missed inside. No throw there from Hunter Smiley. So now 2 in scoring position for Greater Latrobe. Nobody out, still here in the top of the first. Jacob Kramer at the plate. Count 1-1 from Grego to Kramer. Kramer came into the game with a 400 average. He's driven in 11 runs, trying to add to that total right now at the plate. Now the 1-1 pitch called strike. Count now moves to 1-2. Uniontown in the home whites, maroon numbers. Greater Latrobe, the away blacks with orange trim, pinstripe pants, sharp-looking uniforms.
A little bit of a late arriving crowd on the Latrobe side over there.
Now Grego's 1-2 pitch to Jacob Kramer, and Kramer pops it up in foul territory. Red Raiders no play on it.
And that ball into the baseball Bermuda Triangle.
Yes. Count remains 1-2. They did get some of that grass cut there up on the hill a little bit. Trying to find some of those loose baseballs, but that one kind of behind the trees might be a little bit tougher. Another 1-2 pitch now from Grego to Kramer, and that one misses high and outside. Count now even at 2-2. The Red Raiders just looking for an out right now, trying to get things settled down here defensively. The good news is they haven't yielded a run yet. Count now 2-2. Kramer at the plate, Grego on the mound. Grego again from the stretch position here for the Red Raiders. 2-2 pitch on the way. This one belted. Deep. Look out here. To right center field. Cam Jackson on the run, but it's going to actually go over the head of the right fielder, Luke Resch. And this will plate at least 2 for Greater Latrobe. Actually, maybe not. Relay coming in. We're going to have a play at the plate and out. At home plate there is Amatucci. Getting down to third is Jacob Kramer, and Kramer might be a little bit dinged up right now. So Leonard scored on the play. You're going to have an RBI here for Kramer, and hopefully Jacob's okay. They're down at third.
He slid awkwardly head first into third, and over on the other side of the diamond, Brian, Tate Musco threw that relay to home plate, and he is agonizing over his left arm right now.
Not what the Red Raiders want to see. Of course, Musco, the number one pitcher on this Uniontown team. And it was a great relay coming in. In fact, Gary, I thought for sure they were going to play two there, even though the runners had a hold initially in case that fly ball was caught by either Jackson or Gresh out there in right center field. Ended up going over Gresh and back to the wall, and Luke did a nice job getting it in, and Tate fired it down to Hunter Smiley, who was able to tag Amatucci out at home.
And he's in some pain.
Yes.
He's not looking good over there. And that could be really a huge problem for the Red Raiders as their ace pitcher grimacing over there.
You have the training staff looking over now at Kramer over at third. 2
triples here in the first inning, but just 1 run in.
I think Kenny's going to come out here and talk to Tate over at first to make sure he's okay. Of course, Tate pitched 6 innings last night against Latrobe.
He's definitely in some discomfort. And down here at third base, Jacob Kramer trying to walk it off, and I think he's going to be okay. Well, maybe not. They might have the pinch runner come in.
Well, they could do that and still allow.
Courtesy runner.
Well, technically it'd be a pinch runner in this situation. But correct. Kramer could re-enter. Probably a good move at this point. Well, you're not going to lose him out of the game yet.
But you don't want to have him go back in the dugout and tighten up.
Correct. I see what you're saying on both sides of things, but if you want to get things checked out and just make sure everything's all right, not really going to hurt.
That's going to bring out the runner. That's number 6.
That'll be Andrew Hance. So Hance to run here for Kramer.
And Tate Musco is going to hang in there over at first base. Not going to get him out of the game. But now with 1 out, runner on third base, that's going to bring up the pitcher and cleanup hitter, Luke Nipar-Smith.
Nipar-Smith, 364 average, a home run and 14 RBIs so far this season.
Batting from the left side. That ball was launched to right field.
Yes, it was. I thought it might go clear the fence there, Gary.
Well, it was one bounce off the fence, and now Gresh is playing against the fence out there.
Yes. Especially with the power of Nipar-Smith, as you mentioned. Now Grego line and fire the first pitch here to Nipar-Smith. That one missed for ball 1. At least the good news for Uniontown, they got an out recorded here in the inning. On the relay where they got Amatucci at home.
It looks like Grego's going to work from the windup now.
It's just the runner, hands down there at third, and this ball belted deep to left center field, and that will go a little one hop off the wall, and now Hinsey with a relay coming in, sliding into second safely. There is Nipar-Smith. He'll pick up an RBI double, and a run scored from the courtesy runner, Hance, and Greater Latrobe now leading 2-0. You've actually had, Gary, the first 4 Wildcats reach base safely.
And extra base hits, too, not just singles.
Yeah, Leonard's triple to right, Amatucci's walk, Kramer's triple, Nipar-Smith's double, and now Brody Ruman coming to the plate, the junior second baseman. Still just 1 out here in the inning. First pitch high and inside there to Ruman. Count at 1-0.
And you're playing against the first place squad, undefeated in the section. You don't want to dig yourself too big of a hole. Very difficult to come back. Probably facing their best pitcher, too.
Again, the Red Raiders able to hang last night. Almost pulled it out, Gary. They had 2 on with 1 out in a 1-1 game in the top of the 7th.
Kind of ran themselves out of that one.
Ran themselves out of the inning, and then Musco kind of reached the limit pitching. They brought in Grego, and he yielded the home run to Dom Carini. It was interesting for Carini. That was only his second plate appearance of the season. First ruled at bat, and it went for a home run and a walk-off in that. He's in the lineup today.
That's something you don't forget.
starting in right field and batting seventh. Right now they count 2-1 on Brody Ruman, who's the fifth Wildcat to bat here in the top half of the first inning.
Just one out.
Red Raiders still trying to get out of a jam here early on. Now the 2-1 pitch from Grego to Ruman with Kniper Smith on second. And Grego looking back towards the second base bag, and now will step off. It's been a long top half of the first inning.
These Wildcat batters are well trained, no doubt.
And you can see why this team was in the WPIAL championship game last year. This
Trouble
one
again.
Well hit down the right field
Fair
line.
ball.
Will bounce in front of Dom Carini. Holding at third will be Kniper Smith. But it's another hit for the Wildcats, a single for Brody Ruman.
Puts runners at the corners again, just one out. And they're finding the gaps out
Correct,
there.
yep.
No Adam balls, that's for sure.
All well-positioned hits. And now Eli Boring coming to the plate. Boring, the sixth Wildcat to bat here in the top of the first. Greater Latrobe already 4 hits, 2 runs scored, 1 out here in the inning. And the Red Raiders just trying to find a way to get out of here and get themselves at the plate.
See the runner moving to second. Probably, that one's in the dirt.
Got away for a moment from Musco, but he was able to kind of limit the damage. They're knocking it down.
He's going to underhand it to the pitcher.
Yeah.
That's
not a good sign. No, not a good sign at all. This is the only conference series for Uniontown this week. Again, they'll return to conference action Monday and Tuesday against Laurel Highlands, but you hope that there's no greater damage done there to Musco. And you can tell he's definitely in discomfort over there at first base. Pitch on the way low. Now going to make a throw down to third. No throw to second. Just making sure that Kniper Smith's back on the bag allows Ruman to get down to second base. And now 2 in scoring position. Still 1 out here in the inning. The Wildcats already have plated 2.
And unofficially, 23 pitches already.
Wow. And only 1 out recorded. Now the 1-0 pitch here to Eli Boring. Boring came into the game a 139 average and 6 runs driven in. He'll pop this one foul. Actually over the press box and onto the softball field. The Uniontown softball team. A big game tomorrow here at Bailey Park against Laurel Highlands at 6 o'clock.
That should be a good one.
Yes.
Both teams playing well.
Be the senior night for the Uniontown girls as well here tomorrow. Count 1-1 now. Grego to Boring. Pitch on the way, misses low. Count now 2-1. Think it affected Grego at all pitching late yesterday, Gary, then coming back and getting the start here today?
I wouldn't think so with the limited amount of pitches he threw, and I saw him warming up. He looked really good in the warm-ups, and, he's thrown some pretty good velocity here the first inning, but Latrobe just right on him.
Now the 2-1 on the way. That one missed as well. Now 3-1. Eli Boring. Do you think it messes with the psyche at all a little bit, Gary, giving up that walk-off home run, though?
Well, a high school player, probably not.
Okay.
They have very short memories.
Yes. 3-1 now. Grego to Boring. 2 on, 2 already across. Just 1 out here in the top of the first. Pitch on the way. Misses low for ball 4.
That'll load him up.
With Dom Carini coming to the plate.
7th Wildcat to approach the batter's box here in the first inning with just 1 out.
Again, Carini with a walk-off last night.
Double play would be in order for the Red Raiders.
Okay, just his 3rd plate appearance so far this year. Had walked in his other at-bat, or other plate appearance. So just 1 at-bat. It was a home run last night to win the game for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown. It comes to the plate here. The base is loaded, and will swing and miss the first pitch there from Grego. And that was a swinging for the fences swing there, Gary.
I was just going to say that. He was trying to back up another home run.
Well, that'd be a nice way to follow it up, though, for him, wouldn't it?
Oh, wow.
The walk-off last night, come back with a grand slam here today.
With 3 at-bats.
With 3 at-bats, or 3 plate appearances, 2 at-bats. And Carini now try to dig in here again. 0-1 pitch from Grego.
Oh, my.
Carini with a rip. It's going to be on a line and bounce in front of the right fielder, Luke Resch. And that'll score just a solo run as Greater Latrobe goes station to station. Kniper Smith comes around to score, and Carini stays perfect on the season, now 2 for 2 with an RBI single to right field. So 2 at-bats, a home run now and 2 RBIs. And the Wildcats lead now extended to 3-0 over Uniontown.
Still just 1 out.
And Vince Gasky will be the 8th Wildcat to bat here in the top of the first inning.
And you got Luke. I mean, I understand that they have power, but playing that close to the fence really doesn't help.
Yeah.
I mean,
On that situation, if he was up a little bit,
yeah.
instead of that ball line, one hopping in front of him, it could be a second out of the inning. Gasky took the first pitch for a strike. And now Grego's 0-1 here to Gasky. Misses low to even up the count at 1-1. The Red Raiders just trying to hang in this game. As you said, Gary, you don't want the game to kind of get away from you before you even get an opportunity to swing the bat yourself. There's a chance that might happen here tonight. McGrego coming back and finding the strike zone there to Gasky. Count moves to 1-2. The only out recorded so far in this inning was Amatucci, who was thrown out at home. The count now 1-2. From Grego to Gasky. And that's a called strike 3. The ball was dropped there initially by the catcher, Hunter Smiley, but with the bases loaded, it doesn't matter. Goes as a strikeout and a much needed out, second out of the inning for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Now Cooper Bassiano comes to the plate. Bassiano batting .233 with 4 RBIs, junior shortstop. At this point, Gary, just giving up 3 runs here in the top half of the first inning. You'd take it right now if you're Uniontown. First pitch misses low there from Grego.
Doesn't appear that bad.
No.
But bases are loaded. Need to come with strikes.
Grego will try to do that. What's his pitch count up to right now, Gary?
34.
34 here in the top of the first. Pitch number 35, a 1-0 delivery, fastball fouled off into the netting. Evens up the count now, 1-1. Wildcats an opportunity to try to blow this game wide open in the top of the first. Uniontown trying to hang. Greater Latrobe 7-0 in conference play. Uniontown 3-4 in the conference. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that ball a little nubber, and it's going to go for a hit. Another seeing eye single will score 2 this time for the Wildcats and extend the lead to 5-0 as both Ruman and Boring score on the play. And the Wildcats have batted around here in the top half of the first inning.
And back to leadoff hitter Mason Leonard, who started things with the triple deep to right field.
End up scoring a run. Now a 5-0 lead for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown. Still here in the top of the first. At what point, Gary, do you start looking towards the Uniontown bullpen?
Well, I mean, you might not have a choice with the number of pitches that he's thrown.
First pitch here to Leonard, fouled off. And a busy scorebook for the Wildcats here in the top of the first.
Runners on first and third. Might as well see Cooper Bassiano take second base also here, I would think.
And Carini at third, Bassiano on first. Throw back to first. Bassiano back on the bag.
Double clutch by Musco to get that back to the pitcher.
Yeah, he's still not feeling it, Gary. Could have just been a little rotation the wrong way there on that one he ripped to home. Especially coming off of a game where he threw a lot of pitches last night.
Should have a couple days off here.
Yeah. I don't think the Red Raiders play the rest of the week. 0-1 pitch. Missed there for a ball. Throw down to second. Runner is going. Gets into center field.
Wow.
And that's going to allow Carini to score on the play. Getting down to third is Bassiano. And the lead now extended to 6-0 for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown. Wow. Going from bad to worse, Gary.
Sure is.
Those are the type of uncharacteristic errors you do not like to commit.
Well, you had to make the throw. It was a delayed steal.
Oh, I agree.
And you'd like to see Gasper kind of put his body in front of that one at shortstop and keep it in the infield.
1-1 pitch now to Mason Leonard. Called strike. Count moves to 1-2. 6 already across for the Wildcats here in the top of the first. Uniontown is yet to swing the bat. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Missing there. It even up the count at 2-2. Crowd might get here too late, Gary.
Yeah.
You have a 15-run rule after 3, 10-run rule after 5. Red Raiders hope they don't see that tonight. 2-2 pitch on the way, and this one belted into right center field.
Jackson
Charging and getting, though, is Cam Jackson to end the inning. But the Greater Latrobe Wildcats sending 10 to the plate, scoring 6 runs here in the top half of the first inning to lead the Uniontown Red Raiders 6-0. Uniontown still coming to bat for the first time tonight. We'll take a quick timeout here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here on WMBS, the Tremba Live High School Sports Network, and of course, Facebook Live. I'll let Gary tell you about some of our fine sponsors here tonight.
Jackson Farms. For farm fresh dairy products, stop at Jackson Farms Dairy Store, Route 40 at Briar Hill. Enjoy delicious hot deli items available Monday through Friday. Eat in or take out. Jackson Farms Dairy Store features quality dairy products, the most delectable homemade ice cream you will ever eat. And now available at Jackson Farms is their own farm fresh cheddar cheese and cheese curds. Why not stop in Jackson Farms today? And I can certainly attest to that. Good stuff down there at Jackson Farms.
You love those cheddar curds, right?
Oh, yeah. Peach & Pharmacy, are you managing diabetes and need supplies? Peach & Pharmacy can help you. They understand the importance of quality diabetic care. The pharmacy offers a wide range of supplies, all tailored to meet your needs and your budget. Plus, they can deliver your supplies and prescriptions to you. Trust your local pharmacy for all of your diabetic needs and have a local pharmacy to help you. Visit Peach & Pharmacy in downtown Connellsville or call 724-626-9600. That's 724-626-9600. Peach & Pharmacy, your partner in diabetic care.
Gary, you want to set the lineup here for the Uniontown Red Raiders who trail at 6-0 against the Greater Latrobe Wildcats after half an inning.
Leading off will be Mason Kuhn, number 10, playing second base. Number 26, Tate Musco, the first baseman, bats second. Batting third, number 24, Cam Jackson, the center fielder. In the cleanup spot, number 99, Wyatt Nels, he plays third base. Austin Grego, your pitcher's in the fifth spot, wearing number 7. Gary Smitley is your DH here this evening. He wears number 69. In the 7th spot, number 2, Luke Gresh, the right fielder. 8th spot, Braden Hinsey. He's your left fielder, number 23. And number 1, Hunter Smiley, the catcher, is in the 9th position. Defensively for Latrobe, around the outfield, number 8, Mason Leonard plays left field. Eli Boring, number 4, is the center fielder. Right fielder, number 11, is Dom Carini. In the infield, number 5, Drac, I'm going to say that correctly, Steinkula.
Jack Steinchula, isn't it?
Steinchula,
yes.
You're correct. Number 21, Cooper Bassiano's the shortstop. Second baseman, number 13, Brody Ruman. First baseman, Jacob Kramer, wearing number 3. Luke Nyper-Smith on the mound, and Louis Amatucci behind the plate.
The first pitch from Nyper-Smith to Mason Kuhn misses for ball 1, and Nyper-Smith, a good-looking lefty here, Gary.
Absolutely. And obviously we saw him at the plate, batting in that cleanup spot, ripping a double.
1-0 pitch on the way to Kuhn, and therefore a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Mason, a 192 average. Senior second baseman for the Uniontown Red Raiders. And it's Latrobe 6, Uniontown nothing. Red Raiders coming to bat for the first time in this game. 1-1 pitch on the way. Mason fouls it off into the netting. For Kniper Smith, this is his 5th appearance and 4th start of the season. Has worked 15 and a third innings. 3-1 record. Has given up 19 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned. Struck out 15 and walked only 2 so far this season. He's been very impressive. Pretty much their number 2 pitcher behind Riley Smith. Next pitch on the way, and Kuhn hard ground ball here to third. Steinchula with the throw over to first to Jacob Kramer in time. Retire Mason Kuhn 5-3 for the first out of this bottom half of the first inning, and that'll bring up Tate Musco.
Strong arm across that infield by Steinchula.
Yeah, you look at this Greater Latrobe team, Gary, I don't see too many weaknesses. Watched some of the game against Uniontown last night and just watching them here early on today. They're well schooled in all aspects of the game.
Well, they're not undefeated in the section for nothing.
No, I agree. We'll see if Musco's shoulder bothers him at all, Gary, on this at-bat. Comes in with a .379 average, 2 homers and 5 runs driven in so far this season. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Musco homered in both games against Bell Vernon earlier on this year. Of course, he had that famous home run here over the scoreboard, Gary.
Absolutely, into the Uniontown darkness.
Yes. 1-0 pitch on the way, and Tate taking that one outside. Moves the count to 2-0.
He doesn't get cheated up there. He'll
No.
take some good rips and a lot of line drives.
His dad, Kinney, coaching third base. Of course, Tate headed to Marietta. Officially signed last week. Congratulations to the Musco family.
It's a very good baseball school,
Yes.
Marietta. Terry Mulholland
Yes.
went to Marietta. Longtime Major League Baseball player out of Laurel Highlands.
Where's he at these days?
Arizona.
Okay. Enjoying the warm weather out there. 3-0 pitch on the way, and Musco takes that one for a strike at the knees. Count moves to 3-1. I wonder how comfortable Tate is with that shoulder discomfort. He's kind of held it a couple of times. And they're at the batter's box, but rips this one right up the middle in a center field. Boy, did Uniontown need that one.
And there's one of those hard hit balls by Musco. Just as a very compact swing and takes advantage of that fastball, rips it right up the middle.
Gives the Red Raiders gives the Red Raiders a little life here in the bottom of the first inning, down 6-0. If you just joined us, Greater Latrobe sent 10 men to the plate, scoring 6 runs in the top of the first against Austin Grego. Now Cam Jackson coming to the plate, the senior center fielder, batting .179 with an RBI. And Greater Latrobe checking Musco is back on the first base bag safely over at first.
One of those things we talked about in the Bell Vernon game. I'm sorry, the Ringgold game. Whether those throws over to first should be counted as pitches.
Yes. That one missed to Jackson on the inside, count 1-0. I would like to see that. Count as pitches, maybe move the pitch count up for maybe 100 to 105 or 110 in the regular season. At least let that factor in to maybe speed up the game as Jackson fouls that one off. Evens up the count now at 1-1. Sunset just after 8 o'clock tonight, with the sun behind the clouds right now with rain expected around midnight. We just have another 20 minutes or so of daylight before the lights take their full effect down here at Bailey Park. 1-1 pitch to Jackson, breaking ball, and therefore a strike moves the count to 1-2.
Gets a call on a high bender that time.
You know, Kniper Smith looking for the second out of this bottom of the first inning. Clean look over at Musco at first. 1-2 pitch on the way, comes back with a fastball, misses low. To even up the count at 2-2. Red Raiders just trying to chip away right now. Down 6 here in the bottom of the first. 2-2 on the way. Jackson fouls it off again. Count remains 2-2.
Pittsburgh Pirates up 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
They snapped a 6-game losing streak last night, defeating the Milwaukee Brewers. Have that game on the radio side tonight on WMBS. Now the 2-2 from Kniper Smith to Jackson. Another breaking ball and a check swing foul on the left side. Count remains 2-2. 3 high school baseball broadcasts next week, all on the radio and on Facebook Live with live video. Of course, the Uniontown Laurel Highlands Series Monday and Tuesday. We're over at Landman Field on Monday. That'll be a 4 o'clock start back here at Bailey Park on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Uniontown will have their senior night game here Thursday, playing a non-conference game against Carmichael's. Gary, you with me both Monday and Tuesday next week?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. See you for both of those games. And here's Jackson, a ground ball, going to short, unable to field it there is Bassiano. Now Musco on his way to third, and the throw actually hit him in the back heel and allows Jackson to get down to second. So the Red Raiders with 2 on and 1 out.
So uncharacteristic miscue there by the shortstop for Latrobe. Bassiano just could not pick that up, and then it went to the second baseman, Ruman, who tried to throw to third, but the ball hit Musco in the foot.
Yeah.
So he's getting banged up here.
Yes, he is. His shoulder, his foot. We're still in the first inning.
Very smartly, Jackson scoots into second on the play.
You scored that E6?
I did.
Now Wyatt Nails coming to the plate. Of course, Nails with good power. Ready home run this season, batting .267, has driven in 9 runs. The Red Raiders get a big answer here. It's going to be huge. They try to hang in this game, but Nails comes up empty. Swing and a miss at the first pitch there from Kniper Smith.
Got to put this one in play somewhere.
Yes.
Get a run on the board.
That's 1 out here in the inning. Red Raiders trying to show how to fight here at home. 0-1 pitch. Nails fouls that one off. No play on it for Greater Latrobe defensively.
Got to be careful if you're Musco down here at third. Third baseman Sanchula is playing up near the bag. Now he backs up a little bit, but creeps in with the pitch. And also over there at first base, it would be a play at home on any ground ball to the corner.
Now the 0-2 pitch to Wyatt Nails, high and in sight. Count moves to 1-2. We're discussing the schedule for next week. Uniontown will play their senior night game here against Carmichael's next Thursday. Josh Scully and Tony Hanua will have that one for you both on the radio and on Facebook Live Thursday night. It'll be about 9 days from now. 1-2 pitch on the way, high and outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Red Raiders have added a game at Brownsville on May 10th, be a week before the playoffs get underway. Don't be surprised to add another game or two that week as well, just trying to stay fresh with no conference game scheduled. Nails taking another one there to move the count now 4-3-2.
Well, getting a lot of pitches here by Kniper Smith. He's up to 21. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 21.
It's been a 43-minute first inning. The inning's still not done yet. Just 1 out here in the bottom of the first. 3-2 pitch to Nails. Fouled off into the netting again. At this pace, Gary, the game is going to end at 2:36 a.m.
12 past my bedtime.
I didn't actually try to figure that out, just trying to estimate a little bit.
Yeah, you
might have overestimated.
You had it right in your brain.
3-2 pitch again from Kniper Smith to Wyatt Nails, and this one popped up on the right side in foul territory.
The Nails hanging in there.
Yes. I wonder if there's a curfew down here. Remember they used to have those at some of the old ballparks. They couldn't start an inning after a certain time.
Well, these guys got to go to school tomorrow.
Yes.
They might have homework.
They probably didn't have – a lot of districts, Laurel Highlands didn't have school today.
That's right.
It was an Act 80 day, with being election day. 3-2 pitch on the way. Nails ground ball foul here on the left side.
Yeah, it's adding to the pitch count.
Yes. What are we up to on Kniper Smith right now?
29.
Okay.
No, 24. I'm sorry. 24.
Still been a busy inning with just 1 out. Had a lot of pitcher duels so far this season. This one not starting out like one. 3-2 pitch on the way to Nails. Well hit it through on the left side. So Musco will score. Jackson rounds third. Relay coming in, and Cam Jackson scores as well. A 2 RBI single to left for Wyatt Nails, and Uniontown back to within 4. Down 6-2.
Well, that's a way to answer for sure. That was a shot by Nels, just ripped it. And the relay came in nicely to Stankola, but he was unable to catch that to make a play at the plate, and Speedy Jackson probably would have had it beat anyway. But that's going to bring up Grego.
It's only one out here in the inning.
Out.
Yep. Grego coming to the plate, batting .417 with 4 RBIs. First pitch to Grego, first pitch swinging, and that's through on the left side. Nails will hold it second. So a single to left for Austin Grego. Now the Red Raiders with 3 hits. You had Jackson get on with an error. 2 runs already across. And you have 2 on, and now you'll get a courtesy runner here for Grego on the Uniontown side. It'll be number 16, Adam Kramer. So Kramer to run for Grego. It is a courtesy runner with Grego being the pitcher. And now Gary Smitley coming to the plate, batting .333 with an RBI. Junior DH here today. And Smitley, good size and power. And now we'll get a pinch runner here for Wyatt Nails. And that will be number 6, Elam Martin. So Martin to run for Nails. So you got more speed on the base paths now on the Uniontown side. Red Raiders down 4, but just 1 out here in the inning.
Big opportunity for Smitley to add on.
It's been a wild start here, Gary. And now Kniper Smith from the stretch, glance back at second. First pitch here to Smitley. Maybe foul tipped it. Count 0-1.
Good breaking pitch there by Kniper Smith. It just tied up Smitley.
Kniper Smith, a long look in here. Glances back at second. No 1 pitch to Smitley. He went at chasing. That pitch was low. Count moves to 0-2. And you have Kramer over at first, Martin at second. Pinch runner and a courtesy runner on the bags here for the Red Raiders. And an 0-2 count now to Gary Smitley. A glance back at second. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the game for Kniper Smith. And our second out here in the bottom of the first. With Luke Gresh coming to the plate. Sophomore right fielder batting .115. But no matter what happens to the rest of the inning, Gary, good to see the Red Raiders just didn't fold in this game. They've
put a couple runs up.
Put a couple runs up, showing some fight here early on with a lot of baseball to play.
And Luke coming to the plate. A lot of action in the top of the inning out there in right field. So see if he can shoot one through here, possibly plate another run for the Red Raiders.
Gresh, the 7th Red Raider to bat here in the bottom of the first, takes the first pitch for a strike there from Kniper Smith. Counted 0-1.
Both pitchers going high in the pitch count here in the first inning.
I think we'll see some bullpen activity before all is said and done here tonight. 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball, and going around there was Gresh. Count 0-2. Braden Hinsey due up next if they get to him here in the bottom of the first. And Kniper Smith a strike away from getting out of the inning. The 0-2 now to Luke Gresh. Fastball.
Misses outside.
Count moves to 1-2.
It's going to be dark before the end of the first inning, Brian.
It was a 7 o'clock start here tonight at Bailey Park. Expected this long game. They probably would have started a little bit sooner. Now the 1-2 to Gresh. Breaking ball. Did it hit him? No. Was inside. Gresh backed out a little bit. Count now moves to 2-2. Kniper Smith, another glance back at second. 2-2 pitch here to Gresh inside. Count now full of 3-2. Of course, a walk here would load the bases with a freshman Hinsey due up next. 8 runs scored between these two teams in the first inning.
And Grego threw 40 pitches. Sniper Smith at 34 right now.
So a 74 pitch first inning.
And it ain't over yet.
Yes. This will be pitch number 75 on the way. It's a fastball, misses low and inside for ball 4 to load the bases. I didn't think I'd say this, Gary, but Uniontown is bringing the game-tying run to the plate here in the first inning after trailing 6-0.
Well, give him credit.
Yes. Now 6-2 with Hinsey coming to the plate. Hunter Smiley due up next. Hinsey's the 8th Red Raider to bat here in the bottom of the first, and Greater Latrobe bringing the entire infield in, and they probably have not been tested like this, Gary, at all in a first inning in quite some time, with their defense certainly being solid.
This pitcher's timeout being brought to you by First Federal of Greene County. We will piggyback. I'm sorry, I did that last
Yes,
time.
you did.
Geez, oh, whiz. Falling in love with a house, head over heels for a home plan, take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage-free pre-qualification. It's simple, 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within 1 business day. Then save the date for move-in day or groundbreaking and put a key ring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Now Braden Hinsey at the plate, bases loaded here for Uniontown, 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning and a 6-2 lead for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown. But the Red Raiders not done yet here in the bottom half of the first. First pitch to Hinsey, swing and a miss, strike 1. And there were over 75 combined pitches between Sniper Smith and Austin Grego in this first inning that has taken 52 minutes so far.
We're having all kind of fun.
Yes. And now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, swing and a miss from Hinsey. Count moves to 0-2. The rest of the innings can't be this long, Gary.
Want to bet?
And now the 0-2 from Sniper Smith to Hinsey. Fastball, and Hinsey
That's
with
trouble.
a chopper.
That's trouble.
Going to short, but making the play by standing on the bag there, Bassiano, to end the inning. But Uniontown getting 2 back. They trail Greater Latrobe 6-2 after 1 here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS, the Tribble Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. Henry and Stewart Audiology are experienced audiologists in Uniontown, Carmichaels, and Connellsville. The gift of hearing is important for people of all ages, from infancy to late adulthood. Henry and Stewart Audiology is here to ensure that you make the best decisions about your hearing throughout your life. When you choose them as your audiologist, there's no need to wait for a sale. They offer fair and honest pricing every day on all of your hearing devices and services. Contact Henry and Stewart Audiology today. The UPMC Rehab Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community. They treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They can treat you effectively and safely because they take all the necessary precautions and are disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location, convenient hours, and part of the community. You can call their office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access, and they can contact your doctor for you, 724-437-7500. And since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people, not insurance companies. Their lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience. Throughout decades of work, Davis & Davis has successfully represented thousands of cases in local, state, and federal courts. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799. And Gary, I'm all worn out. It's your call for the second inning.
Due up for Latrobe, the second, third, and fourth batters, Amatucci, Kramer, and Sniper Smith. And Amatucci walked, and he was the victim of that play at the plate.
Yes.
That was the first out of the inning for Latrobe in the first. Ran out of space in our scorebook, had to bump an inning over. And Grego will start the second with his 41st pitch of the game.
And despite giving up 6 runs in that top half of the first inning, Grego's still on the mound here for Uniontown. See how he bounces back. Belvernon up 3-1, top of the fourth over Albert Gallatin. Again, that game started the exact same time as our game did tonight as well.
Top of the second, here's the first pitch. There's a rip right up the middle. No chance there for Jackson to come in to make that play. And a one-pitch hit starts things off here in the second for Latrobe.
Yes, Amatucci, who walked back in the first inning, now singles here in the second inning. And the Wildcats kind of picking up where they left off in the first, Gary.
Just keep on keeping on.
Yep.
And that's going to bring up Kramer, who tripled with his RBI hit in the first inning.
Try to get you a final on that Laurel Highlands Ringgold game tonight as well.
First pitch in there for a swinging strike. So good velocity on that fastball by Grego.
They're telling me, Gary, that senior night's going to be Tuesday against Laurel Highlands, not on Thursday.
That makes
Middle
sense.
change there, yep.
Be a bigger crowd.
Yes.
Huge crowd, probably.
As far as I know, they're still playing Carmichael's on Thursday. Unless something else has changed.
Almost getting the runner. Sweep tag there by Musco.
Yeah, if we hear anything different, we'll pass it along to you.
No balls, one strike to Jacob Kramer. Nobody out, one runner on for Latrobe here in the top of the runner goes. High, that's a strike called and throw down and late at second. So a stolen base by Amatucci puts him in scoring position with nobody out. Strike in there makes it 0-2 to Kramer. See if Grego can work some strikeouts here in the second inning. Did strike out one in that long first inning. With the sign from the stretch, Grego to Kramer. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate.
Red Raiders needed that one.
Catches Kramer looking for the first out of the inning.
Outs have been tough to come by on both sides early on in this one.
Absolutely. That's going to bring up the Latrobe pitcher, Luke Kniper-Smith. Batting from the left side, he doubled his first time.
Ended up scoring a run, enter the game with a .364 average.
RBI double.
Now 15 runs driven in so far this season for Kniper-Smith.
It's the pitch. There's a looper into left field, and coming in to possibly make the catch and making the catch is Braden Hinsey. So 2 quick outs for the Red Raiders.
Haven't been able to say that at all so far in this game, Gary.
Absolutely. That's going to bring up Ruman. He singled back in the first, came around to score the 4th run at that point for the Wildcats. So with 2 outs, runner on at second in Amatucci. Musco trying to get a quick inning. First pitch to Ruman is low and outside for ball 1.
Of course, if Greater Latrobe wins here against Uniontown, Belvernon would need to sweep the Wildcats next week to get the conference title. Entering play today, a game back of Greater Latrobe for first place in the conference. Again, Belvernon an early lead over Albert Gallatin tonight, 3-1.
Fake throw back by Grego, trying to keep that runner close at second.
That'd have to be one of the more premier series, I would think, around high school baseball next week. Wildcats and the Leopards battle for first place here in Section 2.
Game of the week
Yes.
on ESPN.
You never know.
Now, backing out was Ruman. Grego taking too long.
Probably both of those games under the lights, I would think, because both Belvernon and Greater Latrobe generally play most of their home games in the evening, like Uniontown does as well here at Bailey.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike on the inside part of the plate, knee high. 1-1 now to Brody Ruman.
You kind of get a general mix of day and night games here in the conference with Albert Gallatin, Ringgold, and Laurel Highlands generally playing their home games during the day.
One pitch. Throw it back now, and that's into center field. And
well covered, though, by Jackson.
Not sure I agree with that throw. He was well back to the base. And
You don't want to mess around too much. He got one out in the center field, which allowed Latrobe to score a run back in the first inning as well.
And a 1-1 count to Ruman. Deliberate delivery now. Foul back for strike 2. So ahead in the count now. Grego trying to end this inning with no damage.
And Ruman, another Greater Latrobe batter that entered the game with above 300 for a batting average of 306. This team has really hit the ball well so far this season. Count now 1-2.
Here's a pitch, runner going. That's in the dirt. Throw down, and stealing third is Amatucci. So good speed there by Louis Amatucci. And the count runs to 2-2 now.
Brian Morozak and Gary Frankhauser with you. Billy Dice behind the camera on our Facebook Live video feed. Nice to have you along with us for this Tuesday night Facebook Live exclusive.
Grego will go to the windup, and there's a foul back. Well, actually, a rip over the dugout, over the third base dugout for the Red Raiders. And that a lot of fans over here in those stands had to scatter.
That was our old broadcast location here for many years. Kind of perched along the side of the bleachers before they put this nice press box in for us last year.
Just for us.
Yes. Actually doubles as a softball press box as well.
Yep.
Well designed.
2-2, 2 outs, runner on third base. Grego with the windup to Ruman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So out of the inning, Grego, after a 6-run first inning, limits the Latrobe Wildcats to no runs here in the second. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's 6-2 on the C. Harper Sports Night here on WMBS Facebook Live.
Contact Uniontown Allstate agent Russ Blejo for a free quote on home and car insurance near you. Located on Lebanon Avenue in Uniontown. You can phone Russ at 724-439-9700. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate. At Uniontown Printing Press, they're more than just T-shirts. They're all about you and everything you love, and they are local. Operated by Mookie John and Kenny Musco, they share the passion with your group, club, or team, the excitement you have for your event or cause, and that makes your business stand out from the rest. Uniontown Printing Press believes the custom T-shirts do more than just make you look good. They help you feel good and inspire you to do good. You can contact Uniontown Printing Press at 724-366-7095. That's 724-366-7095. Are you down with UPP? Donald M. Miller Incorporated has been providing quality service to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Maryland, along with Ohio, since 1945. Their workforce is trained in all aspects of roofing installation, including asphalt shingles, standing seam metal, slate, copper, and EPDM roofing. They also do gutter and other specialty metal installations. They offer both residential and commercial projects of any size. Feel free to call their office at 724-438-8071 and speak with Donnie or Doug Miller about your roof project. And Gary, we did get a final score in on that Ringgold Laurel Highlands game. The Mustangs dropping to 8-0 dropping to 0-8 in conference play. Ringgold knocking off Laurel Highlands 3-0. So that certainly keeps the Rams in the playoff race as well in the section. And if you see the results hold up of the games today, you'd have Albert Gallatin, Ringgold, and Uniontown all tied for third place at 3-5 in the conference.
First pitch to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom half of the second inning. The number 9 batter, Hunter Smiley, takes ball 1.
Hitters 9-1-2 due up. Smiley, Kuhn, and Musco.
Left-handed delivery, high and inside for ball 2.
Now, it certainly create no guarantees, though, Gary. You have AG, who Uniontown split the season series with, and Ringgold in a possible third-place tie would make next week very interesting.
2-0 pitch. That's in the dirt, 3-0.
And, of course, the 3 series next week are Uniontown Laurel Highlands, Latrobe Bell Vernon, and Ringgold Albert Gallatin. So that Ringgold Albert Gallatin series could end up being for a playoff spot.
Probably will.
Yes.
3-0 pitch. That's high and in. Ooh, got the call. Looked like high and inside, but we don't have a very good angle on it. But 3-1 now.
Of course, the Rams had that huge win last week over Bell Vernon. And sweeping Laurel Highlands this week, they're suddenly getting hot.
3-1 pitch. Strike 2 right down the middle. Smiley looking to get on with the walk. He'll have to use the bat now. 3-2.
And the loss by Laurel Highlands today officially eliminated the Mustangs from playoff contention. The first time in 7 years the Laurel Highlands baseball program will not be in the WPIAL playoffs.
Strike 3 called. Looked like on the outer part of the plate about letter high. And Smiley goes down looking.
They certainly, though, had a nice run, Gary, if you look at the success they had
Absolutely.
over the last 7 to 8 seasons.
They'll be back.
Oh, they will. Can't be good every year.
So this brings up Mason Kuhn. He grounded to third to start the inning in the first. Red Raiders able to plate 2. Now 6-2, Latrobe on top. Breaking pitch in there for a strike.
Of course, a lot of that success started under Scott DeBerry, who we miss. Unfortunately, Scott passed away a couple of years back, and Brad Yeoman's done a nice job continuing that Laurel Highlands baseball legacy. Unfortunately, just not the Mustangs year here this year.
Fastball again with a swinging strike. 0-2 to Mason Kuhn.
Here on the Uniontown side, you have to like the resurgence of this Red Raider program as well with Kenny Musco.
Foul back that time. Do a lot of off-season training, off-season recruiting, getting some players to play in the Legion system.
I think you got to be careful with that recruiting word around the high school game.
Only in their own district.
Oh, I got you. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood what you're talking about.
Another foul ball.
Because they're really raising some eyebrows around here, right?
I heard they were going to move the transfer portal to high school.
No, we talked about that during the basketball season too, right?
Yeah. One out here in the bottom half of the second. 6-2, Latrobe on top. Mason Kuhn with a 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. There's a shot in the center field. That's in the gap in the left center all the way to the wall, and easily into second with a stand-up double is Mason Kuhn. A rocket out there to left center.
And back real quick to the transfer portal, I thought one of the best quotes we had all season during the basketball year was Shea Fleener saying there was an active transfer portal in the conference.
Yeah, well.
So it was tough to compete in the section.
So a one-out double by Mason Kuhn has the Red Raiders with the runner in scoring position. It brings up Musco, who ripped a single back in the first, came around to score the first run for Uniontown.
The way this game's going, Gary, a lot of times 4-run deficit, you're thinking there's no way. But the way the bats have been booming here tonight, Uniontown with one out here in the bottom of the second within striking distance. And look out here.
Fly ball to deep right field, going back, and unable to make the catch, coming off the wall. And now we're going to have to see a play at the plate. Throw in, and he's in safely. Musco now is going to go down to third.
He's going home.
Nobody at home as the catcher went up the line to pick up the ball. So Little League inside the park home run for Tate Musco.
I don't know how you're scoring that one because Jay Carini was unable to make the play there in right center field.
We're going to give him a double.
Yeah, tough play in that.
And then the play at the plate, I got to have a throwing error on the third baseman.
Yeah, I agree.
Kuhn would have been dead on a good throw to home plate.
Oh, for sure.
And once that ball was in the dirt and went up the first base line, Tate just kept going. No one was covering home, and smartly scoots in with the second run.
Unbelievably, it's 6-4 right now.
Wow.
With only one out here in the bottom of the second inning.
2 batters, 2 doubles, 2 runs. 2s are wild.
Yes. Red Raiders 4 unanswered after they gave up the opening 6 runs of the game in the top half of the first inning.
Jackson, who got on by way of an error, came around to score the second run. We're going to give Musco one RBI.
Correct. And the first inning took 53 minutes. We're still here in the second at 6-4.
And now 52 pitches for Sniper Smith.
There's no way these two pitchers are going the whole way today, Gary.
And I think Jackson, did he get out of the way of that when he did? Looked like it might have hit him low and inside. He jumped out of the way, so it's a 2-1 count now to Cam Jackson with one out in the inning. Nobody on now, but 2 runs in to cut the lead to 6-4 here in the bottom half of the second only. A little looper down the right side. That's going to be out of play, I believe, yes.
And last night's final score was 2-1. A pitcher duel between Riley Smith and Tate Musco. Latrobe winning the game on a walk-off home run from Dom Carini. We've had 10 runs already scored here, and we're still in the bottom of the second inning.
There's another single up the middle, this time by Cam Jackson. He'll take a big turn at first, look at second, so keeps things going here in the second for the Red Raiders, Cam Jackson.
And Wyatt Nails will now be the 5th Red Raider to come to bat here in the bottom of the second inning, and he had a 2 RBI single to left last time up.
I don't see anybody getting loose.
The Red Raiders 6 hits already, 4 runs on 6 hits. Greater Latrobe with 6 runs as well, and they've picked up 7 hits in this game. And now you have Wyatt Nails at the plate, and he's behind 0-1.
0-1 to Wyatt Nails, trying to keep things going here in the second for the Red Raiders. Jackson with good speed on at first, might see him take off. There's a rip right back at the pitcher, plays only at first and able to corral that and get Nails at first, but wow,
it was close,
that was
though.
A rocket.
It was a close play at first. Nails almost beat it out.
And Sniper Smith knocked it down, thought about going to second to get Jackson, but saw he was already in the second, so made the play to first, 1-3 for the second out of the inning, puts Jackson on at second. So nice recovery there by Sniper Smith to go get that one and make the play at first.
Now with 2 outs here in the inning, don't be surprised if you see Jackson try to get down to third with his speed. Grego at the plate, he singled last time up.
And that's going to possibly bring the wild throw into play. Potentially give it
Correct. That's
run.
why, if you're able to get him down to third with some of the craziness we've seen so far tonight, certainly give you a better opportunity maybe to get your 5th run of the night and pull to within 1.
And I've unofficially Sniper Smith up to 57 pitches. We're just in the second inning, and that ball's in the dirt. Here comes Jackson, and he's going to be out at third.
Wow.
Ball did not go too far away from Amatucci behind the plate, and Jackson a little late getting started at second, and that's going to end the inning on a throw from the catcher to third baseman Steinchula. But the Red Raiders do plate 2, and it's now 6-4 as we go to the top of the third on C. Harper Sports Night here on Facebook Live, WMBS.
Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. It stays put until you change your car, your driver, your address, plus seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about. Your local Erie agent in Uniontown and Rostraver Township is the Sprouse Insurance Group. Phone 724-437-9812 or go to SprouseInsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed continued insurance coverage and not available in all states. And it's 6-4. Greater Latrobe leading Uniontown going to the top half of the third inning. You can contact attorney Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr, a full-service law firm which can assist you in all of your legal needs with an office located on Morrell Avenue in Connellsville. The team at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr prides itself on its ability to professionally and aggressively address your legal matters with meeting with you as soon as possible and returning your telephone calls in a prompt fashion. Contact Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr at 724-628-7955. Again, our live video stream here today.
I was just going to ask you, who's bringing our
courtesy
live
of Dan
video
White
stream?
at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr, the Uniontown Printing Press, Don Miller Roofing, Jackson Farms Dairy Store, and Henry and Stewart Audiology. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser, high school baseball action here on the WMBS Facebook page, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. We appreciate you joining us for what's been a wild one so far through 2 innings of baseball. The Greater Latrobe Wildcats a 6-4 lead over the Uniontown Red Raiders. Greater Latrobe will have Eli Boring, Dom Carini, and Vince Gasky coming to the plate. Here in the top half of the 3rd inning is Billy Dice, our cameraman. He's doubling up as a custodian tonight. He's sweeping up some of the sawdust up here in the press box, cleaning things up. Pirates still up 1-0 over the Brewers. What is that, bottom of the 6th, Gary?
Yes.
The Pirates playing well tonight as well. Eli Boring leading off this inning with a swing and a miss and a strike one, still facing Austin Grego. What's Grego's pitch count up to right now, Gary?
He had 40 in the first, just 11 in the second, so that was his 52nd pitch.
He did a nice job settling things down. Boring at the plate. Walked and scored a run back in the 1st inning. And this pitch in there for a strike to Eli. And now he's behind 0-2. Latrobe scoring all 6 of their runs in the top half of the 1st inning. Now Grego looking for his 4th strikeout of the game. 0-2 pitch to Eli Boring, and now time called. Eli back in the batter's box now, batting from the left side against the righty Grego. 0-2 now on the way, and Boring a line drive going right to the Red Raiders second baseman, Mason Kuhn.
That's what we like to see, an atom ball.
Yes.
First one of those we've seen. The rest of them have found grass.
And Kuhn making the play for the first out of this top half of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Dom Carini. Now Carini 2 for 2 so far this season. Walk-off home run last night. RBI single back in the 1st inning, also scored a run. Trying to keep his hot streak going. He'll take the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. I was reading the article in the Latrobe Bulletin about the game last night, and Carini said, hey, I don't get too many opportunities, was trying to make the best of it last night, and certainly did that.
Rewarded with a start here this evening.
Oh, 1 pitch on the way. That one misses load, even if the count at 1-1, and already showing the coaching staff, hey, I belong in the lineup. I got you a hit, I got you an RBI, and I scored a run already.
Walk-off to boot.
Yeah, well, walk-off last night. I'm talking about he's come back today, too. With a solid effort still early on in this contest.
RBI and scored a run.
Yes. Grego's 1-1 now to Carini, and Carini fouling that one off into the woods on the right side. Count now moves to 1-2. Lights now taking their full effect here at Bailey Park tonight. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser, Billy Dice behind the camera on our Facebook Live video feed. Grego now with the 1-2 to Dom Carini. And Grego winds and fires a fastball, and Carini hits it high in the air to center field. Cam Jackson getting under it. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the 3rd. That'll bring up Vince Gasky, the designated hitter, struck out looking first time up. Junior came into the game with a 148 average and 3 runs driven in.
Well hit there by Carini, but to the deepest part of the park here, and Jackson no problem getting under that one for the second out. Just 8 pitches in the inning so far for Grego.
Pitch number 9 to Gasky. Misses low for ball 1. Cooper Bassiano due up next, if they get to him here in the top of the 3rd. Grego now with the 1-0 here to Gasky. Gasky hard chopper, and that one will get through right in between the shortstop Tyler Gasper and the second baseman Mason Kuhn as the relay from Cam Jackson comes in, and it's a 2-out single to center for Vince Gasky. That's the 8th hit of the evening already for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats.
And we're only in the 3rd inning.
And now Cooper Bassiano had one of those hits with an RBI single to right first time up. Will come to the plate. Enter the game with a .233 average and 4 RBIs. Grego glance over his shoulder back at first. Pitch here to Bassiano. First pitch swinging. Grounder to second. Kuhn there. Flip to Gasper in time as Gasper covering that second base bag, making the play. So it goes 4-6 to end the inning. So the Wildcats just strand 1. They come up empty in the runs department. We'll move to the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Greater Latrobe Wildcats leading the Uniontown Red Raiders by a score of 6-4 here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports tonight on WMBS, the Tremba Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. And Gary will tell you more about some of our fine sponsors here tonight.
AK Contracting, ready to start that spring project, that renovation, that addition, struggling to find the right construction team to meet your needs, looking for commitment, dedication, and quality, then it's time to make the call to AK Contracting, the 2023-24 winner of the Best in Fayette for Best Home Builder and for Best Remodeler Contractor. Owner Aaron Kryzak is ready to help you make your home renovation dreams a reality. Call AK Contracting today at 724-550-0411. Don't settle for OK. Call AK.
I love that line, Gary.
I like that line a lot.
Somebody's calling an attorney.
Absolutely. I got spam call, I think. Farm Fresh Dairy Products at Jackson Farms. We talked about them earlier. Stop in at Jackson Farms Dairy Store, Route 40 at Briar Hill. Enjoy delicious hot deli items available Monday through Friday. Eat in or take out. Jackson Farms Dairy Store features quality dairy products, the most delectable homemade ice cream you will ever eat. And now available at Jackson Farms is their own Farm Fresh Farmhouse cheddar cheese and cheese curds. Why not stop in Jackson Farms today?
So, Gary, we're moving down to the bottom of the third inning. The Uniontown Red Raiders with Austin Grego, Gary Smitley, and Luke Gresh due up. Hitters 5, 6, and 7. Only find themselves down 2.
Scored in both innings.
Yes. Pretty good considering how this one started with Greater Latrobe plating 6 the top half of the first. And Grego will take the first pitch for a strike from Kniper Smith. Count moves to 0-1. Grego with a single to left field back in the first inning. Remember, he was at the plate when Cam Jackson was thrown out to end that bottom half of the second inning. Takes the 0-1 pitch for a ball to even up the count at 1-1. So Grego, Smitley, and Gresh here in the bottom of the third for the Red Raiders. The 1-1 from Kniper Smith. Fastball. Missed high and inside. Count now at 2-1.
I think the Latrobe faithful stayed home to watch this on.
We're seeing some comments.
Yeah.
Go Wildcats on our stream.
Nice.
That's all right. I think Billy Dice was checking in on the Greater Latrobe stream last night saying, go Red Raiders. So they're on to dish it back.
Count goes to 2-2.
After that foul ball on the right side. Huge for Uniontown. They somehow would come back, Gary, in this one after being down 6-0.
Well, just a little bit at a time.
Yes.
They have.
They've been chipping away 4 unanswered, trying to add to it. Grego setting that one foul here on the near side. Count remains 2-2. School's separated by around an hour or so.
Yeah, big fire up in Latrobe yesterday.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Took out a couple of businesses, unfortunately. Now the 2-2. Kniper Smith to Grego, and Grego
chased
won
a
it
wild
chasing.
one.
Yep, blowing in the dirt. That'll be a strikeout.
I got a piece of it.
Hey, wow, foul tip, wow. Yeah, we don't have the best angle at times.
I think he might have hit that on one bounce.
Did he? Nonetheless, he gets a little reprieve. Let's see if he can take advantage of it. 2-2 here again to Grego, and this ball hit high in the air down the right field line into foul territory.
Whoa.
Unable to make a play on it there was Carini.
In play.
Had a chance at
That's
it.
a long run, though,
Yes.
for Carini.
So back to the plate goes Austin Grego again. Count remains 2-2, a 6-4 lead for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats over the Uniontown Red Raiders.
Grego trying to get things started. There
Now
you go.
swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
And put the strikeout down now. And 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Now Gary Smitley will come to the plate. Smitley, one of Kniper Smith's strikeout victims back in the first inning, went down swinging. Junior designated hitter entered the game with a .333 average and an RBI.
All of the damage by the Red Raiders in the top 5 batters.
Correct. They get a walk from Gresh in the first inning. That's been about it. First pitch here to Smitley. Misses low for ball 1. They had Kuhn, who's 1 for 2 today. Musco's 2 for 2. Jackson got on via an error and singled. Nails 1 for 2, and now Grego 1 for 2. Smitley taking that one. Count now moves to 2-0 to Gary Smitley. Red Raiders trying to get some production out of this bottom half of the third inning. Smitley taking another one. Count moves to 3-0. Trying to give Uniontown a base runner here with one out in the bottom of the third, and the Red Raiders down 6-4. Sniper Smith now with the 3-0 to Gary Smitley. Smitley taking all the way, pitching there for a strike. Moves the count to 3-1. And Sniper Smith doesn't like that one from the catcher Amatucci. Now he's set to go. 3-1 pitch, another strike, and we're full at 3-2.
Came back nicely after going 3-0. Two pitches that were not right down the middle. Caught the corners.
Now the payoff pitch on the way to Gary Smitley.
Whoa.
Ball 4.
That one couldn't have missed by much.
No, it was close. Smitley stood there for a moment, but he draws the one-out walk to give Uniontown a base runner here in the bottom of the third inning with Luke Gresh coming to the plate. And Gresh walked back in the first inning. That pitch count still adding up on the Latrobe side as well.
72.
Yeah, this will be a pinch runner situation coming out here. Ethan White, number 4.
And we're just in the third inning.
Yes. Time of the game so far, 1 hour and 26 minutes. And a lot of that was the first inning.
Oh, most of it was, yeah.
That was 53 minutes. And the longer first innings that I can remember in quite some time as far as high school baseball is concerned, Gary.
Yeah, with both teams.
You had 8 combined runs. I think 18
Latrobe
men.
batting 10 players.
Yeah, Uniontown batted 8.
Yeah.
Yep. 18 men came to the plate collectively in that first inning.
Big lead out there for the courtesy runner.
White. Throw it over in that direction and head for a slide back safely there from Ethan. The way the game started, we didn't think we'd see a competitive game tonight. But it turned out to be one at 6-4. And a swing and a miss there from Luke Gresh. Counted 0-1. And the Red Raiders play their final conference series next week against Laurel Highlands. Both games on the radio and on Facebook Live. Monday at Landman Field at 4, here at Bailey Park Tuesday at 7. Breaking ball to Gresh. I believe that one missed. Didn't see a strike
outside
signal. It was outside. Count even at 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch here to Gresh. That one a called strike. Takes the count to 1-2. Gary's still checking the Pirates score. They're up 2-0 now over the Brew Crew. And a 1-2 count here to Luke Gresh. Gresh taking that one low and inside. Count now even at 2-2. Field looking nice though tonight, Gary.
Sure is. They do a great job maintaining this facility.
A scoreboard on in right field. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one low again to Gresh.
Another full count.
Yes.
One out in the inning. Runner on at first in the form of a walk.
Smitley walked. Ethan White on as a pinch runner. 3-2 pitch here, and Gresh goes down swinging.
2 strikeouts in the inning for Luke Sniper Smith.
Now 4 for the game. And Braden Hinsey coming to the plate. Hinsey grounded out in that bottom of the first inning. He's have 1 on now and 2 outs. First pitch here to Hinsey. Fouled it off. Counted 0-1.
Temperature certainly has dropped.
Yes, getting a little cooler. Got my WMBS hoodie on. Keep me warm, Gary.
I didn't get that gear.
I'll have to make sure you get one. I think I have one for you.
I'm just kidding. I think I did get one.
Okay. Still 60 degrees, though. When fouled off, counted 0-2. Now Kniper Smith trying to get out of the inning. 0-2 pitch here to Hinsey. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Count remains 0-2. Right, not a lot of fans at least sitting in the Latrobe section over there, Gary.
Yeah, they're all watching and listening.
No wind tonight.
None at all.
Flag right along the pole out there in center field. The 0-2 pitch here to Hinsey. This one popped up down the third base line. Charging from left field and making the play there is Mason Leonard for the third out of the inning. So a great job there for Mason Leonard out in left. Charging into foul territory to retire Braden Hinsey for the third out of the inning. So the Red Raiders strand one. It's still 6-4 Greater Latrobe over Uniontown after 3 here on the C. Harperata Group High School Sports Night on WMBS, the Tremba Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Some more of our sponsors, Peach and Pharmacy. Once again, Diabetes Pharmacy. Are you managing diabetes and need supplies? Peach and Pharmacy can help you. They understand the importance of quality diabetic care. The pharmacy offers a wide range of supplies, all tailored to meet your needs and your budget. Plus, they can deliver your supplies and all of your prescriptions at your home. Trust your local pharmacy for all of your diabetic needs and have a local pharmacy to help you. Visit Peach and Pharmacy in downtown Connellsville or call 724-626-9600. That's 724-626-9600. Peach and Pharmacy, your partner in diabetic and all your prescription needs.
You can read one more if you want.
First Federal of Greene County.
Don't read the piggyback.
I'm doing that. It's on there, Brian. Falling in love with your house, with a house or your house. You can refinance your house or buy a new house. Head over heels for a home plan. You could build one also. Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple. 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within one business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking, or do those repairs with a refinancing. Put a key on right on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings Bank and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
I'm going to start calling you Ron Burgundy. Read whatever's on the prompter.
You gotta add some things, man.
Top of the fourth, 6-4 Greater Latrobe. Gary's going to bring you the action.
And here we go, 6-4. Swing and a miss at the first pitch there by Austin Grego.
Got Mason Leonard, Louis Amatucci, and Jacob Kramer due up.
Top
Hitters
of the
1, 2,
lineup.
and 3 for Greater Latrobe.
Little life over there in the dugout. Second pitch in there for strike two for Latrobe, trying to get things moving after 2 innings of not scoring. 6 in the first. Went down with 4 batters in the second and 4 in the third. That pitch just missing.
And sometimes you can kind of get in a situation, Gary, you score those 6 runs early on, you kind of become complacent a little bit. You think, hey, we got this one in the bag. Here comes Uniontown back, 2 runs in the bottom half of the first, 2 in the second. Suddenly it's a 2-run game.
There's a pitch just outside. 2-2 now.
It kind of forces you to get back on your game a little bit. And maybe, even though you have a 2-run lead in the game, Uniontown certainly more momentum maybe at this juncture of the contest.
Well, and the Latrobe coaching staff is well aware of that, and I think that's probably what they were trying to get some excitement in the dugout. Here's the pitch and foul back off the screen. So count remains 2-2 to Mason Leonard. 1 for 2 in the contest. Big triple in the first. Came around to score the first run for the Wildcats. 2-2 offering. Winds and deals. There's a high fly ball down the right side. That's well out of play. And there's a guy walking down there.
Look out.
Almost
I don't think he knew the
right
baseball
over
was
his head.
coming. Yep.
No, he did not.
Our buddy Rick Frank checking in, watching the game tonight. Hello, Rick. Appreciate you saying hello this evening.
Long-time WMBS broadcaster.
Yep.
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
He was your partner for a long while, Gary, on those
Absolutely.
Laurel Highlands games.
We were a stellar team.
Yes. So Leonard goes down, first out of this top half of the fourth. Now Louis Amatucci coming to the plate. Amatucci on base in both plate appearances. Walked back in the first, singled, and stole a couple of bases in that second inning.
There's a bunt down the third base line. Beautiful bunt. There won't be any play on that as he did make a play and made it close, but getting down the line, Amatucci did beat the throw, but good effort there. I didn't even think there was going to be a throw by Austin Grego.
He had great speed, but Grego making a good effort. Still just not in time there to get Amatucci. So Latrobe, a base runner with one out here in the top of the fourth.
Bunt single. Just saw the third baseman Nels playing back, and coming off the mound and making the play was Grego, but not in time. And now big lead out there at first base is Amatucci. He already has
wide
one
throw,
stall, and
look
that's
out.
going way down the right field line. And he might go to third. He's going to stay there at second, though. Running in to grab that down the right field line was Luke Resch, and
Muska got run over again, Gary.
he's not feeling well to begin with, and now he's going to have to shake off a tackle.
Yeah, he had a shoulder that got strained on a throw in the first inning. Was really
Struggling. He's
struggling
still
a little
struggling.
bit.
I've been watching him between innings. He's been throwing it underhand.
And then he got hit in the back of a heel with a ball running down to third
Right, he's taking a
later
beating.
on that inning, and now gets run over here at first. Gonna have to clean that uniform tomorrow for sure.
So runner in scoring position, one out. Kramer at the plate, 1 for 2 with a triple.
Muska now coming in over at first.
Swing and a miss.
Kramer has, Gary said, that RBI triple back in the first inning. Struck out looking in the second, and certainly a situation here with one out in the inning. You might see him try to advance Amatucci down to third.
But if you're the Red Raiders, you have to go at him. You can't put more runners on base.
I agree. You're getting in the meat of the order, too, with Kniper Smith due up next, batting .364 with 15 RBIs this season.
Here's the pitch. High and inside, so 1-1. The count to Jacob Kramer.
Still a lot of baseball to play, only here in the top of the fourth inning. And 6-4. And we told you Ringgold knocked off Laurel Highlands earlier on today. Bell Vernon currently leading Albert Gallatin.
Here's the 1-1. Just misses low. 2-1. Top of the fourth inning, 6-4. Latrobe holding on to that lead, scoring all 6 of their runs in the first inning. Red Raiders plating 2 in the first and 2 in the second. 2-1 pitch from Austin Grego to Jacob Kramer. Now fakes the throw back, trying to keep Amatucci close out there at second.
A couple people asking, Gary, why is this game going so slow? What would your answer be?
Well,
a lot of men coming to the plate, right?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of hits. A couple base on balls, a couple errors. A lot of men coming to the plate. There's a foul back. We've had a lot of foul balls, too.
Yes. A lot of people tune in. They missed the 53-minute first inning. That was an inning that saw 8 runs scored, 8 of the 10 so far.
40 pitches in
the
first inning by Austin Grego and 38 on the other side for Latrobe.
Yes.
We said that earlier.
We didn't have a rain delay, didn't have anything holding up festivities tonight. All the powers work so far this evening.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Now, if the Wildcats like that.
Kramer didn't agree, but his opinion not relevant.
Now, Kniper Smith coming to the plate. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the inning. And again, Latrobe has yet to score in this game since they plated 6 in the top of the first.
Doubled with an RBI back in the first, flew out to left field in the second. 2 outs now in the inning. There's a foul back for the first strike.
And the Wildcats will take on Bell Vernon Monday and Tuesday next week. Uniontown battles Laurel Highlands. Yeah, it's still really odd how the schedule is structured this year. You'll have about a 2-week gap from that final conference series before the playoffs get underway, but again, a lot of that built in for makeup games, and you have some sections that have more teams than 6 that will be playing.
There's a shot up the middle. That's going to be a base hit that's going to bring in another run for Latrobe. And an RBI single by Luke Kniper-Smith plates the 7th run for Latrobe, and they add to their lead 7-4.
Kniper-Smith now 16 RBIs so far this season.
And that was the 81st pitch by Austin Grego.
And also consider, Gary, this is the 13th game that Latrobe has played, so 16 RBIs in 13 games, over an RBI a game.
That's impressive.
For Kniper-Smith.
He doesn't bat fourth for nothing.
No. So the Wildcats getting one back, and they certainly needed that just to get a little momentum back in this game now with Brody Ruman coming to the plate. Ruman 1 for 2, singled back in the first inning, scored a run, struck out swinging in the second.
He takes a strike on the outside corner. Flashing signals across there to Kniper-Smith. Probably has pretty good speed, too. Good athlete.
I agree.
Ruman to face the 0-1 pitch.
A check of the runner. Kniper-Smith back safely there. Running for himself, no courtesy runner in this situation, even with 2 outs in the inning. And Kniper-Smith, the pitcher on the other side for the Wildcats.
Oh, had him leaning.
And they
got him. They called him out. Wow. Whew. That's
it was close.
A call from the umpire behind the pitcher. It's a difficult view there, but got him leaning, and he was picked off at first. So that's going to end the inning. They do plate 1 run, and it's now 7-4 as the scoreboard goes out.
Oh.
And
the motherboard again.
We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 7-4, Latrobe on top of Uniontown here on the C. Harper Sports Night, WMBS and Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Henry and Stewart Audiology are experienced audiologists in Uniontown, Carmichaels, and Connellsville. The gift of hearing is important for people of all ages, from infancy to late adulthood. Henry and Stewart Audiology is here to ensure that you make the best decisions about your hearing throughout your life. Whether you choose them as your audiologist, there's no need to wait for a sale. They offer fair and honest pricing every day on all hearing devices and services. Contact Henry and Stewart Audiology today. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community. They treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and all other conditions. They treat you effectively and safely because they take all necessary precautions and are disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location, convenient hours, part of the community. You can call them and call the office with a prescription from your doctor or scheduled by direct access, and they can contact your doctor for you, 724-437-7500 for the UPMC Rehab Institute. And good news, Gary, they're rebooting the scoreboard.
Nice.
Out there in right field, the lights are back on. The motherboard is alive.
There you go.
I'll try to get it reset.
Hinsey ended the inning last inning, correct?
Yes, we'll start here with
Smiley.
Hunter Smiley, Mason Kuhn, and Tate Musco. Hitters 9, 1, and 2. Smiley will bat for the second time in this game. The Red Raiders will start their 3rd run through the order. Kniper-Smith still on the hill here for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. And it's 7-4. Greater Latrobe leading Uniontown as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And Gary will bring you another half inning of high school baseball.
Well, Kniper-Smith working after 82 pitches.
Wow.
First.
You could have a forced pitching change here, Gary, because of the pitch count in the 4th. Realistically.
Yeah, that's certainly possible.
You don't see that very often. Remember, for years it was always innings and not pitches, and they changed that a while back.
Swing and a miss by Smiley. Took a big rip at that one. What did Hinsey do to end the inning?
He flew out to left.
That's exactly right. Down the line here.
Down the line,
Foul ball.
Yep.
0-1 pitch now to Hunter Smiley.
I remember there was a game, Gary, like 15 years ago when we first started doing these games. I was working with Wally up at Southmoreland. It was about 30 degrees. And I think Laurel Highlands ended up winning like 18-2. And for whatever reason, the
5-hour game.
No, Southmoreland kept their pitcher in. I think the kid was at like 140 pitches.
That was before there was a pitch count.
Yeah, before there was a pitch count. And it was like 30 degrees outside. We were freezing.
Hey.
Wally was keeping the pitches.
He would never make it in the majors.
No.
They're not allowed to go past 5 innings.
Correct.
0-1 pitch. Ball.
I think Southmoreland kind of got sore at us a little bit, too, because we were passing along what the pitch count was. They said, it shouldn't have been that high. Well, Wally's pretty good with the pencil.
No doubt about it. The professor.
Yes. That's what he said. They don't call him the professor for nothing.
There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter Smiley, leading off the bottom half of the 4th inning. 7-4 now, Latrobe on top of Uniontown. 1-2 offering now by Luke Nyper-Smith, and there's a little looper down the right side. That's out of play. Over to the fans sitting down there in their soccer chairs.
Yes. Our colleagues seem like they're having a fun week. I know Steve's been living it up down in the Greenbrier, playing in a tournament down there. Didn't get any reports on how he did down there, Gary, in that Pro-Am.
I'm sure he did well.
Yes.
He usually does. And there's a hit by pitch as Nyper-Smith went to the breaking pitch and just turned that right inside. So leading off the 4th inning with a runner now, the Red Raiders trying to answer that run put up in the top of the inning by the Wildcats.
So the Red Raiders getting a base runner, as Gary said, and now you get to the top of the order. We mentioned how productive this top half of the order has been for Uniontown so far today, and Mason Kuhn
doubled his last time up, came around to score.
Yep. Trying to keep it going here again. Smiley, pretty good speed off of first.
And that's low and inside. Throw it down to first, back in safely. Three-run advantage for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 4th. We're trudging along here. Good lead over there by Smiley. And that fakes the bunt. Now throw down to second. That's on the first base side and in safely with the stolen base is Smiley. So fake bunt inside there by Kuhn. Pulled back 2-0 to him. Ball was low. Tough play there by Amatucci. Threw it on the first base side of second base and allows Smiley to slide in safely.
Good opportunity for the Red Raiders to make a little hay here, Gary, the way this half inning has started.
Nobody out. Runner in scoring position at second. Stepped off now by Luke. 2-0 the count.
Yeah, must go behind Kuhn, who's 2 for 2 today.
Here's the pitch. Ball, 3-0.
You talked about that pitch count now, Gary. What, around 85 now for Nyper-Smith?
He's at 89.
89 now, wow. Still here in the bottom of the 4th. This will be pitch number 90.
That's out. Throw back through, and good arm there by Amatucci, and that was a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 3-1 now the count to Mason Kuhn.
It's all dirt infield here at Bailey Park. You'll have some dirty uniforms tonight and tomorrow. Latrobe not used to it, playing on the artificial surface at Graham Sabota
Field.
Field.
Back again, and diving back in safely was Smiley. Good move that time
that's
by
pretty close.
Luke to his second baseman, Brody Ruman.
Nyper-Smith trying to return the favor after he got picked off in the top half of the inning.
Here's the 3-1 pitch now to Kuhn. He's going to step back, add to the anticipation I'm going to use. Here we go. 3-1 pitch. Fakes the bunt, and it's a strike, and now throw through again. So Kuhn squared around a bunt, pulled it back, but it was a strike, so now full count to him.
I was going to say, Gary, I think I smell a skunk behind us, too. That could add to the drama here today.
You sure that's a skunk? Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, but
Here we go, 3-2.
Must have a card. Foul ball. And that's going to be the 10th pitch of the inning, so we're at 92 in my count. Now, that's totally unofficial.
Yes. You have to be close, though. You're ballparking it pretty good.
Three-two count again. Smiley with a decent lead out there at second. There's a foul back again, so adding to that pitch count.
Team's had a little bit of everything. We're still here in the fourth inning. Game started at 7 o'clock. We're an hour and 50 minutes in. Had a 53-minute first inning.
3-2 pitch again. Foul back again. Making him work. Nobody out in the inning. On at second base after being hit by pitch and stolen base is Hunter Smiley. Mason Kuhn, a leadoff hitter for the Red Raiders. A double and a run scored so far for him. That's low. He called strike three at the knees. Wow.
I don't know about that, Gary.
Kuhn was going to first and rung him up. Wow.
Our Raider fans do not like that call.
As I said before, we did not have a good angle, but it did look low. We'll have to
I agree.
Look at the replay and the strike box.
Yes. You can go back and rewind a little bit on your Facebook Live video feed.
That's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Tate Musco. Runner still out there in scoring position in the form of Hunter Smiley. Left-handed hitting Musco now with the opportunity.
You hate to give up one of those, though.
Back up deep in right field and at second base.
You could have had the game-tying run at the plate again with nobody out in the inning.
That one's low and outside. One ball, no strikes, one out. Smiley on at second. 7-4, Latrobe on top. Musco at the plate. Big cut.
Wow.
Went for the downs there.
Yes. That might have hit the rec center if he got a piece of it.
Blew all the air out of the infield. 1-1 now.
Yep, another chance.
Smiley gets back into second as Nypar Smith steps off. Here's a 1-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back, and that ball is gone.
Wow.
Two-run homer by Tate Musco, just clearing the left field fence. Opposite field home run for Musco. Cuts the lead now to 7-6.
How big, Gary, was that called strikeout from Kuhn?
Would have been a tie
Would have been a tie game. And Uniontown, it was down 6-0 in the top of the first inning. Now only down 7-6, and we'll see if we're going to get a pitching change here on the Greater Latrobe side.
3 RBIs now for Tate Musco, and Nypar Smith's still there, but that is 16. I have him at 98 pitches.
Second time Musco's homered here at home. Also did against Bell Vernon. And we'll see.
Cuts the lead to 1. Here in the fourth inning, looks like they are going to make a pitching change. They are. And that's going to give us an opportunity to step aside and hear a few more of our sponsors here on the C. Harper Sports Night. Facebook Live, WMBS, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people, not insurance companies. Their lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience. Throughout decades of work, Davis & Davis has successfully represented thousands of cases in local, state, and federal courts. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799. Contact Uniontown Allstate agent Russ Blejo for a quote for home or car insurance near you. Located on Lebanon Avenue in Uniontown, you can phone Russ at 724-439-9700. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate. So we have a new pitcher here, Gary, on the Greater Latrobe side.
Trying to get the numbers. At 22, that's Hayden Porterfield.
Get you some numbers here on Porterfield as well, as Porterfield on in relief of Kniper Smith, who unofficially, as Gary said, was at 98 pitches. And we're still here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. So for Porterfield, this will be his 5th appearance of the season. Has worked 6 innings. Enters the game with a 1-0 record. Also has a save. Has given up 5 hits, 6 runs. They're all earned. Has walked 6 and struck out 8 so far this season. So Hayden Porterfield, your new pitcher for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Is Kniper Smith staying in the game? I would
That's
assume
what
he
I would
is.
think, yeah. Or he may go to DH. I'm not sure that that's possible, though. They're going to send somebody down the right field line to warm up also. So let's see, where did Kniper Smith go?
Now, the DH was Gasky.
I don't see any left-handers in the field.
You wouldn't take his bat out of the lineup.
I wouldn't think. We'll try to figure this out.
Yeah. I'm looking around too, Gary. How about out there in right?
He's too dirty.
Yeah. So it looks like he could be the DH. But you could put Gasky back into the game somewhere.
That's probably what happened.
I'm trying to get that cleared up maybe in between innings. The Red Raiders still trying to go strong here in the bottom of the 4th after the 2-run home run from Tate Musco. As Uniontown backed within 7-6.
And it brings up Cam Jackson.
Just 1 out here in the inning. Base is now empty.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Musco 3 for 3 now today. And Gary, he's a triple away from the cycle.
That was high and inside. So 1-1 to Cam Jackson with 1 out in the inning. Nobody on after the base-clearing 2-run homer by Tate Musco.
Credit Musco as well, Gary, for as banged up as he's been in this game.
That's for sure.
Coming through with a 3 for 3 performance at the plate.
That pitch high, 2-1.
What a wild one here tonight.
Swing and a miss by Jackson. Took a nice rip at that, but came up empty. 7-6. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Turns into a very competitive ball game. Breaking pitch low and outside. 2-2. I'm sorry, 3-2 now.
And Porterfield seems like he has a nice little mixture of pitches.
Worked quickly for sure. 3-2 pitch to Jackson. That's high and inside.
Wow.
So another base runner for the Red Raiders, and quick base runner in the form of Jackson. That's going to bring up Nels, who is 1 for 2.
Remember, Jackson represents the game-tying run right now.
Nels
over
has
first
a
base.
couple RBIs. Skunk didn't leave yet, Brian.
No, it's still around. That could be, if that gets on the field, look out.
Wow.
Gary might be pulling, or Billy might be pulling the camera back, trying to get out of the way.
So this brings up Nels. 1 out in the inning. Runner going. Throw down, and this time he's going to be out.
Wow.
Good pick that time by the shortstop. Bassiano had to take it on a short hop and swung around to make the tag on Jackson. So that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. And give credit there to Amatucci for a strong throw and also the catch and tag by Cooper Bassiano.
Now Nails at the plate. 2 outs, though, in the inning.
Can still do some damage. Curveball too high.
And the base running has been a bugaboo for Uniontown all season long. We talked about it last night as well. Kind of ran themselves out of the top half of the 7th inning as well against Latrobe in a 1-1 game.
I'm not calling that a base running mistake.
No, I agree. But it's just a situation, though, where you end up getting it out on the base paths and certainly kind of puts you behind the 8 ball a little bit.
1-2 now, the count to Wyatt Nels, trying to keep things going here in the inning. Here's a pitch. That's high. 2-2. Porterfield mixing things up, changing speeds, breaking pitch, fastball. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that ends the inning, but not before a 2-run homer by Tate Musco has the Red Raiders within 1. 7-6 will go to the top half of the 5th inning here on WMBS Facebook Live, C. Harper Sports Night, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Got you reading from the top here, Gary.
Yeah, bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address, plus seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Draver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to Sprouseinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. Continued insurance coverage is not available in all states, but it is available here.
In Pennsylvania, correct?
Absolutely. At Uniontown Printing Press, they are more than T-shirts. They are about you and everything you love, and they are local. Operated by Mookie John and Kinney Musco, they share the passion with your group, club, or team, the excitement you have for your event or cause, and that makes your business stand out from the rest. Uniontown Printing Press believes that custom T-shirts do more than just make you look good. They help you feel good and inspire you to do good. Call Uniontown Printing Press at 724-366-7095, 724-366-7095.
And actually talked to Mook before
Wait a minute. Are you down with UPP?
Yes, we are. And actually talked to Mook before the game. Wanted to know if we were on the call tonight. I told him yes, and said he would be tuning in. So hello to Mookie John if you're watching. Of course, his good buddy Kenny Musco, the head coach of the Uniontown Red Raiders. What's that, Billy? He might be watching. Yeah, Mookie lives around here. That's right.
On Charles Street.
Yeah, he can actually tune in to us and watch the game in person and still have us on and catch all the action. That has to be a pretty nice view for the folks that live up there on Charles Street looking down at all the action. So the Wildcats with Brody Ruman, Eli Boring, and Dom Carini due up. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 here in the top half of the 5th, but the Wildcats lead down to 1 now. It's 7-6 after the Tate Musco 2-run home run in the bottom of the 4th inning as the first pitch from Austin Grego misses for ball 1 to Brody Ruman. Where's Grego out on the pitch count right now,
That was
Garrett?
number 79.
Okay. There's a little wiggle room in the 1-0 pitch. Hit high from Ruman and falling on his back and making the catch, the right fielder there for Uniontown, Luke Resch. Wow.
He's had some excitement out there in right field tonight.
Made that catch from the seat of his pants, but results in the first out of this bottom half of the 5th inning, or check the top half of the 5th inning. And now Eli Boring will come to the plate. Latrobe going through the lineup for the 3rd time. Boring walked and scored a run back in the 1st inning. Flew out to second baseman Mason Kuhn during his 2nd at-bat. In the 3rd inning, the first pitch here, a strike from Austin Grego. Boring batting from the left side. Grego now with the 0-1 to Boring. Fastball. Swing and a miss. Count now at 0-2.
After the 1st inning when Grego threw 40 pitches, just 11 in the 2nd, just 10 in the 3rd. I'm sorry, 11 in the 3rd, and 17 in the 4th.
Did yield the 1 run in the 4th inning off a Kniper Smith's RBI single that drove in Louis Amatucci. And you credit the coaching staff for hanging with Grego as well as the next pitch chopped here to second. Diving effort from Kuhn. Try to flip it off to first. Good backup there from the catcher, Hunter Smiley, getting behind Musco, but no play on it. Just a well-positioned hit there from Boring. And now, for a moment, it appeared that Kuhn was a little bit slow getting off the mat.
Well, that was definitely a base hit. And
oh, for sure.
Strong effort there by Kuhn, but Red Raider players taking a beating here tonight.
Yes. Of course, Kuhn comes from a family that's used to that, Gary.
Absolutely.
His dad, J.C., longtime boxer. And nice job. Went to a number of his fights about 15, 20 years ago. Now his son, Mason, pretty good battler here, and a
Ooh.
close play over at first, and almost getting picked off there was boring.
Sweep tag there
Yes.
by Musco.
Then a hello out to Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke tuning in as well to the broadcast tonight. Hope the mayor's doing well.
Throw again over.
And that was
Safe
another
again.
close play.
Yeah. One
But-
pickoff already here this evening.
We've seen throughout the course of the year both Grego and Musco, no matter who's pitching for Uniontown, have some pretty good pickoff moves over towards first base.
Got him that
got him.
time. Wow.
Third time's a charm.
Jeez, Owens. Had him leaning.
Yeah. Wonder why do you throw over all the time? Well, if you can get outs like that, that's why you're throwing over. Second out of the inning.
Wow.
You still have Kinney at the plate. Kinney 1 for 2 this afternoon.
Puts a totally different
Yes.
spin on the inning.
Still amazing. Uniontown down only 1 right now at 7-6 after they trailed 6-0 right out of the gates. They were down 6-0 before they swung the bats. Now down only 1. And Kinney taking ball 1.
Gets Grego back to the windup also.
Yes. Grego now set. Long looking this time, and he'll wind and fire the 1-0 here to Kinney. That one missed low. Count now 2-0. And certainly if Uniontown would manage to find a way back into this game, would set themselves up really good for a postseason berth and set up a series where if Latrobe and Bell Vernon split next week, they'd be section co-champs as Grego comes back, finding the strike zone there to Kinney. Count moves now to 2-1, and you already have the Red Raiders working into the Latrobe bullpen with Porterfield on in relief of Kniper Smith. And the Red Raiders will be there, I'm sure, before the end of the game as well, the way the pitch counts are adding up in this one. 2-1 pitch on the way to Kinney. That one finds the strike zone, even if the count at 2-2. And 2 outs here in the inning.
Just
Brody
not-
Ruman flew out, and then Boring got on with an infield single, and he was picked off. And now
Big.
the 2-2 pitch here on the way, and this one chopped foul on the right side. Count remains 2-2.
So the next pitch will be number 90.
Correct. And don't be surprised if you see Grego finish out this inning and then get the bullpen going to start the top half of the 6th. That's kind of been the way Kenny's approached things throughout the course of the season with his pitchers. Trying to start them fresh instead of making a change if needed midway through the inning. And another chopper. This could be a
big
tough
hop.
play. Charging from short, making the throw over in time for the out was Gasper to Musco to retire Kinney 6-3 for the third out of the inning. So the Red Raiders escaped offensively with no damage being done. It's Greater Latrobe 7, Uniontown 6. Moving to the bottom of the 5th here on the C.R. Pirata Group High School Sports Night. Donald M. Miller Incorporated has been providing quality service to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, and Ohio since 1945. Their workforce is trained in all aspects of roofing installation, including asphalt shingles, standing seam metal, slate, copper, and EPDM roofing. They also do gutter and other specialty metal installations. They do both residential and commercial projects of any size. Feel free to call their office at 724-438-8071 and speak with Donnie or Doug Miller about your next roof project. Contact attorney Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr, a full-service law firm which can assist you in all of your legal needs. With an office located on Morrell Avenue in Connellsville, the team at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr prides itself on its ability to professionally and aggressively address your legal matters, meeting with you as soon as possible and returning your telephone calls in a prompt fashion. Contact Dan White at Tremba, Kinney, Greiner, and Kerr, 724-628-7955. So, Gary, now we're moving into the bottom half of the 5th inning. And on the Uniontown side, we'll see hitters 5, 6, and 7. Austin Grego, Gary Smitley, and Luke Gresh facing Hayden Porterfield. He'll be starting his 2nd inning of work on the mound here for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats.
Grego 1 for 2, a single back in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 3rd.
You mentioned earlier the top 5 in the order have generally been the most productive for Uniontown today, but you did have Smitley walk in the third inning during his second plate appearance. And Luke Gresh had a walk back in the first inning during his first plate appearance. And Hunter Smiley was hit by a pitch in the top, or check that, in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Scored on that home run.
Yeah, scored on the home run. So the guys at the bottom, they're trying to do their part as well.
Pirates final 2-1 win.
And a lot quicker game than we had tonight.
McCutcheon, the leadoff home run in the first inning.
Nice. So the Pirates, after losing 6 straight last week, bounce back with back-to-back wins over the Milwaukee Brewers this week. And you look at those last 2 wins, Gary, coming against the first-place team in the conference.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes. Don't know what to expect. Still 2 more games left in that series. They'll play under the lights tomorrow, then Businessman Special on Thursday afternoon. You like escaping for those weekday afternoon games, don't you, Gary?
Oh, yeah.
So Austin Grego to lead things off here for Uniontown in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Gary said, 1 for 2 today. Single back in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Red Raiders down 7-6. Uniontown scoring 2 in the bottom half of the first, 2 in the second, and adding 2 in the fourth on that Tate Musco 2-run home run. We'll have 2 more here in the 5th.
Already 2 hours and 10 minutes into this contest.
And Grego taking the first pitch here for a strike from Porterfield. Counted 0-1. We started right around 7 o'clock tonight. As Gary said, we're at 9:11 right now. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that went high and in tight to Grego. Even up the count at 1-1. These kids have school in the morning. We have work in the morning.
How long did these lights stay on?
On a timer, 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball. Missed there. Count moves to 2-1. That would be something. City sets them to go off at like 10 o'clock at night, figuring the game's going to be done by then, and we're still playing. 2-1 on the way. Grego fouls that one off into the netting.
Good cut at that one. That was a letter high fastball that he took a rip at.
Count moves to 2-2. I worry about the city curfew.
Yeah.
To ask about that at the next city council meeting. Have a concerned citizen come up during public comment. The baseball game was going on too late. I couldn't sleep. 2-2 on the way. And Grego with a chopper here going to the first baseman, Kramer, who makes the play.
Good fundamentals there by Porterfield. Got over to first in a hurry. So easy flip to him by Kramer to retire Austin Grego.
Now Gary Smitley will come to the plate. Smitley struck out swinging in the first inning. Walked in the third. Trying to get on here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Red Raiders down 7-6.
Well, top of the order will get another opportunity for sure. So I'd like to see some runners get on base here in this inning to flip that order.
Smitley, first pitch swinging, came up empty, counted 0-1. We mentioned Tate Musco batting from the second position in the Uniontown batting lineup, 3 for 3 today, a triple away from the cycle. He'll get a crack at it at least once here in this game. And Smitley, another pitch that's fouled back to take the count now to 0-2.
3 RBIs for Musco also.
Certainly has had a nice game at the plate. He's got banged around a little bit, hurt his shoulder back in the first inning, took a ball in the back heel in the bottom of that inning, and also got run over once at first. Smitley here at the plate with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th behind 0-2. And Porterfield will wind and fire the 0-2 pitch, and Smitley goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Porterfield. He came on in relief of Kniper Smith. And now 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th with Luke Gresh coming to the plate. Gresh walked back in the first inning, struck out swinging in the third.
Good thing the Red Raiders have Jim Burns in the dugout.
Yes.
UPMC
Rehab Institute. He's kept Tate in the game today as Gresh fouls that one off into the trees on the right side.
2 quick outs in the inning. Porterfield pretty efficient here in his relief effort.
Probably keep riding him as long as they can. Gresh swing and a miss there, and now Gresh 2 strikes on him. As Latrobe defensively looking for a quick bottom half of the 5th inning. Porterfield, a strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. Two-strike pitch to Gresh, misses there. Count moves to 1-2. Fans still hanging around tonight. Hear them below us.
Jovial group.
Yes. 1-2 on the way, and Gresh ground ball here to third. Stinchula throw over to first, a little wide throw, but hanging on the bag. The first baseman, Jacob Kramer, as Gresh retired. 5-3 to end this bottom half of the fifth inning. So 1-2-3, bottom half of the fifth inning. Still 7-6. Greater Latrobe leading the Uniontown Red Raiders here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night. Ready to start that spring project, that renovation, that addition? Struggling to find the right construction team to meet your needs? Looking for commitment, dedication, and quality? Then it's time to make the call to AK Contracting, the 2023-2024 winner in the Best of Fayette for Best Home Builder and Best Remodeler and Contractor. Owner Aaron Kreisig is ready to help you make your next home renovation dreams a reality. Call AK Contracting today, 724-550-0411. Don't settle for OK. Call AK today. And for Farm Fresh Dairy Products, stop in Jackson Farms Dairy Store, Route 40 at Briar Hill. Enjoy delicious hot deli items. Available Monday through Friday, eat in or take out. Jackson Farms Dairy Store features quality dairy products, the most delectable homemade ice cream you will ever eat, and now available at Jackson Farms is their own farmhouse cheddar cheese and cheese curds. Why not stop into Jackson Farms today? And also have to congratulate Bill Jackson. Stepped down, Gary, this past season as a longtime chairman of the Fayette County Fair. Did so much fine work out there over the years. And
unbelievable.
And they're going to miss him, I know, over the years. The fair will continue on here in 2024, but certainly won't be the same without Bill Jackson behind the helm.
No doubt about it. Excellent guy.
So, Gary, we'll move to the top half of the sixth. It's your turn. It'll be, we think, Vince Gasky. Remember, he was the DH, but we were unsure how they were going to move things around with Knifer Smith exiting the game.
It can't move him down
that position,
in the order.
correct. Yeah, they can move positions around, right?
So,
if he's still in the game, then Bastiano behind him, then the top of the order, and Mason Leonard.
And Grego, my unofficial count at 90 pitches. So
you're going to stick with him here at least to start the inning. And who knows, you've had some quick innings as of late. Maybe get the Red Raiders to the seventh. Or the Grego's still on the hill.
That is Gasky at the plate.
And Gasky so far today struck out looking back in the first inning. Single to left field in the third. Third plate appearance for Gasky coming here in the top half of the sixth, with Latrobe leading Uniontown 7-6.
So from the windup, here's Grego. Swing and a miss, strike one.
And Gary, I think it's safe to say at this point of the season, Uniontown's a much better team than their record indicates right now at 4-6 overall and 3-4 in the conference.
Hugely competitive in most all of the games. 0-1 pitch. Comes sidearm for a strike.
They're starting
Just
pitching.
Trying to drop down.
And again, I think their starting pitching gives them a chance to win no matter who they're facing. Especially looking at a first-round game, you might be a 10 seed, you might be an 11 seed going against a 5 or a 6. If you got Tate Musco on the mound and you bring Grego out on the bullpen, I like their chances.
That's just a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter here in the top of the sixth inning, Vince Gasky, designated hitter for Latrobe. Grego trying to get a few outs here before he reaches this pitch count. There's a foul back.
And they were in a similar spot last year, big-time underdog against Montour, and almost knocked off the Spartans, lost a 3-2 game down at W&J.
That was a very competitive contest.
They almost knocked off Knock 2 years ago at Norwin High School. They thought they had a walk-off home run in that game. Lost 2-1. Controversial foul ball was called down the left field line.
Strike 3 called. The outside corner, dropping down to that sidearm delivery. Something a little new for Austin Grego.
We talked a little bit about the resurgence of this Uniontown program, and consider the fact, Gary, they were 4-12 in 2021. Of course, you had the lost 2020 season with COVID. 4-14 in 2019.
It's a foul back, and can you get that number, Billy? I don't think that's Bassiano. That's still 6?
Bassiano's wearing 21.
I'm sorry,
it is.
Yep. I'm sorry, 21. You're right.
He's still at the plate.
Yep, that foul back for strike 1.
Count 0-1.
There's the three-quarter delivery again for strike two. That's been effective.
The Red Raiders had some hard luck as far as trying to get into the playoffs over the years as well. They went 7-7 in the conference in 2018. Even going 500, they finished in 5th place and were left out.
Down the middle, fastball from Austin Grego for the second strikeout of the inning.
Getting stronger here late. Then you go back, Gary, to 2017. They finished in a third-way tie for 4th place. They actually thought they were in, found out right before the playoffs they lost the tiebreaker. And we're out.
That's brutal.
And you have to go all the way back to 2013 the last time. Check that, 2014 the last time they were in before 2022. They fell in the first round to Blackhawk at Fox Chapel 17-1.
Mason Leonard now steps in, and he'll foul off to the right side for strike one.
And they actually went from 2002 to 2014 without a playoff appearance as well. Lost in the preliminary round to Baldwin in 0-2. And going back, I don't have a playoff win as far as my records go all the way back for Uniontown baseball. It's been a while.
Foul back again, so quickly 0-2 to Mason Leonard.
And that's my assignment for Billy Dice this week. He's been going through the newspaper archives like crazy. Billy, I want you to find out the last Uniontown baseball playoff win.
He's a history junkie. He'll find
it. I have to have a playoff win somewhere, Billy.
0-2 pitch, the 100th pitch. Strike three call.
Wow, struck out the side.
Wow.
What a way to end the inning and way to end Grego's night on the mound.
And the scores remain 7-6. Latrobe on top. C. Harper Sports Night here on WMBS Facebook Live, the Triple I High School Sports Network. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. 7-6. Latrobe still hanging on to that one-run advantage. And it looks like Porterfield will be coming out again for Latrobe.
Are you managing?
Go ahead. To face the Red Raiders here in the bottom of the 6th.
Are you managing diabetes and need supplies? Peach & Pharmacy can help you. They understand the importance of quality diabetic care. The pharmacy offers a wide range of supplies, all tailored to meet your needs and your budget. Plus, they can deliver your supplies and prescriptions to you. Trust your local pharmacy for all of your diabetic needs and have a local pharmacy that can help you. Visit Peach & Pharmacy in downtown Connellsville or give them a call at 724-626-9600. Peach & Pharmacy, your partner in diabetic care. Fallen in love with a house? Head over heels for a home plan. Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple, 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within one business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking. Put a keyring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729. And Gary, how big would it be right now if Uniontown can jump on Greater Latrobe with a couple of runs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning and then give the Red Raiders an opportunity to close things out defensively in the top half of the 7th inning?
That would be huge, and that's exactly what they're looking to do because they have the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming up, and that was successful at least from the 9 position when Hunter Smiley got hit by a pitch, which allowed Tate Musco to come to the plate with a runner on and resulted in that 2-run homer that brought him within 1 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Porterfield will be facing Hinsey, Smiley, and Kuhn for the Red Raiders.
If you get Hinsey or Smiley on, look out, especially with what Musco's been able to do today. Getting a triple away from the cycle, including a 2-run home run back in the 4th inning.
And Hinsey fouls the first one off to the right side. Good cut. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 1st inning and flew out down the left field line in foul territory back in the 3rd inning. Swinging a high fastball to make it 0-2 quickly.
Just remember, though, Gary, this kid's only a freshman. Very impressive for his age. I think we're going to see a lot of Braden Hinsey here over the next couple of years with this Uniontown baseball program.
Absolutely. 0-2 pitch. Porterfield foul back again at a high fastball.
A good job there by Hinsey just to get a piece of it and keep this at-bat alive. And again, for a lot of you folks just joining us along the way, Uniontown trailed 6-0 in the top half of the 1st inning. They came back with 2 in the bottom half of the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, added another 2 in the 4th. off that Musco home run.
That one a little high and outside for ball one. 1-2 now to Hinsey. Working hard in there, trying to stay alive. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. So good fastball. Tied him up on the inside part of the plate for the first out of the inning. Is going to bring up Smiley.
And Porterfield's done a nice job to kind of settle things down a little bit after Kniper Smith gave up that home run to Musco. Porterfield came into the game. And even after issuing the walk to Cam Jackson, got Wyatt Nails to strike out to end the inning, a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Now striking out Hinsey here to start the sixth.
Keeping that one-run lead intact.
As Hunter Smiley talks things over with Kenny Musco, Uniontown's head coach, going over things again. Smiley was hit by a pitch last time up and stole a base.
And Steinkula will be up here at the corner looking for the bunt, I think, from Smiley. Any way he can get on would be huge for the Red Raiders with the top of the lineup coming up. There's a little looper towards second base, and drifting back into shallow right field and making the catch is Brody Ruman. So quickly, 2 outs here in the inning. It turns it over for Mason Kuhn.
Now 6 straight retired by Hayden Porterfield. This is the part of the lineup that's been very productive for Uniontown. Kuhn 1 for 3, but did have that double back in the second inning.
A little bit tougher now with 2 outs in the inning.
Correct. If you can get Kuhn on here, look out for Musco. Again, has been red hot.
That ball's back to the backstop, so ball one.
A totally different dynamic if you can get Musco at the plate with somebody on versus Musco at the plate to lead off the bottom half of the 7th inning with the bases empty.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's inside, 2-0.
So good job there from Mason, taking a couple of pitches here early on in this at-bat and getting ahead in the count.
Kuhn now looking at a 2-0 pitch. That's high and inside, 3-0.
Here we go.
Be taking all the way here, I would say.
Well, that'll get the crowd up here. If Kuhn gets on base with 2 outs here in the inning, you're going to bring Musco to the plate the way his bat's been tonight.
3-0 pitch. That's in the dirt.
Wasn't
for
even
ball
close.
4, so quick
Wow.
4-pitch walk.
So here we go.
After the efficient first 2 batters that Porterfield faced, and he's going to now face Tate Musco with a man on, 7-6. Latrobe on top. Musco single in the first, double in the second, 2-run homer in the 4th.
You've called both of his home runs here at Bailey so far this year, Gary.
Yes.
Let's even get another one.
Scoreboard is lit.
First one went over the unlit scoreboard and right against Bell Vernon, went opposite field here back in the 4th inning.
Need to be safe. Strike on the breaking pitch. No need for Smiley to do anything unusual over there at first base.
Wait, Kuhn over at first.
I'm sorry, Kuhn at first. You're right.
Kuhn was picked off the base paths yesterday in the 7th inning against Greater Latrobe.
Can't take the bat out of his hand, and there's a pop-up down the third base line and looking like it's going to be in play.
Wow.
And now making the catch in foul territory near the coach's box on a high foul ball. Tate Musco fouls out to end the inning. We're going to go to the top of the 7th. It's still 7-6. Latrobe on top. C. Harper Sports Night here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
That was Denchula making that last play for Greater Latrobe, a big one in that. So the Wildcats a 1-run lead here going to the top of the 7th, and Gary will tell you more about some of our fine sponsors.
Absolutely. Henry and Stewart Audiology are experienced audiologists in Uniontown, Carmichaels, and Connellsville, Pennsylvania. The gift of hearing is important for people of all ages, from infancy to late adulthood. Henry and Stewart Audiology, Inc. is here to ensure you make the best decisions about your hearing throughout your life. When you choose them as your audiologist, there's no need to wait for a sale. They offer fair and honest pricing every day on all of our hearing devices and services. Contact Henry and Stewart Audiology today in Uniontown, Carmichaels, and Connellsville. We talked about UPMC Rehab Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community. Jim also on the coaching staff here for the Uniontown Red Raiders. They treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They can treat you efficiently, safely, before they take all necessary precautions and are disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance is accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location, convenient hours, part of the community. You can call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access, and they can contact your doctor for you. 724-437-7500.
Well, your new pitcher for the Uniontown Red Raiders is the freshman Braden Hinsey. Just his second appearance on the mound this year, is not factored in any decisions, has a 1.75 ERA, has worked 4 innings, given up 4 hits, 1 run, it was earned, struck out 3, and walked 1, facing 17 batters so far this season. And a big spot for Hinsey here, the freshman, going against the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, with Uniontown trailing by a run. The Wildcats 11-1 overall, 7-0 in conference play. Uniontown trying to pull a monumental comeback after they trailed 6-0 after a half an inning. And Hinsey trying to buckle things down defensively to give Uniontown's meat of their order, Cam Jackson, Wyatt Nails, and Austin Grego, a shot in the bottom half of the 7th. And it'll be the meat of the Latrobe order. Amatucci, Kramer, and Kniper Smith, hitters 2, 3, and 4, due up here in the top half of the inning. Again, Hinsey, the lefty, he's crafty. The first pitch on the way is high for ball 1.
Defensively, Grego moves to shortstop, and I want to try to see if we can see if Gasper is out of the game, or how did we correct that, because
we'll double check on all of that.
Hinsey was in left field.
Next pitch on the way is outside. Scoreboard had the first pitch as a strike, Gary. We had it as a ball. I thought for sure it was a ball. Should be 2-0.
Looks like number 34 out there in left field. I think that's the number I'm seeing.
That would be Gasper. And this ball hit high in the air to left.
This is Gasper.
And Gasper able to make the catch for the first down of the inning, retiring Louis Amatucci.
So he moved from shortstop out to left field, gets immediate action.
That's where Hinsey was at in left field, so that would make sense.
Yep.
And 1 out here in the top half of the 7th with Jacob Kramer coming to the plate. Kramer 1 for 3 today, had an RBI triple and scored a run back in the first inning, but struck out looking twice in the 2nd and the 4th. He'll step in here. Lefty Hinsey against the righty Kramer. And Hinsey will wind and fire the first pitch here to Kramer. High for ball 1. Hinsey looking confident, though, Gary, for a freshman.
Yeah, he's got a little pop in that fastball and changing speeds, throws a breaking ball nicely.
Look at his first inning of the season, going 4, just yielding 1 run. Quite impressive. 1-0 pitch here off the plate. Count moves to 2-0. And Kramer came into the game with a 400 average and 11 runs driven in. Now 12 RBIs on the season after that ribby back in the first. And the infield coming in here. A little discussion with the freshman Hinsey. Might be a little more careful with Hinsey in this situation. Kind of talk him through this a little bit, Gary, as a freshman versus somebody who's kind of been on the mound a lot over the years.
And Joe LaPresta, the pitching coach for Uniontown, has a lot of experience also, so he can convey that message to Hinsey and try to settle him down a little bit and give him some confidence. Very good methods by Coach LaPresta.
Yeah, good spot here. Threw a couple of balls. You already recorded 1 out here in the inning. Hang in there, kid. We're in good shape. We're down a run. You're doing a good job. Throw a strike here. Let's get us out of the inning.
You sure that's what he said?
We had an extra mic down there, right? Billy had him mic'd up. It was just in my headset, so it wasn't coming out over the air.
Okay.
We'll talk to Coach LaPresta after the game and see how close that was and accurate to that description. 2-0 pitch now on the way from Hinsey. Missed there low. Takes the count to 3-0. I have to think Kramer's probably taken here.
Yeah, they can try to get some runners on, looking for some insurance runs.
Now the 3-0 pitch from Hinsey to Kramer. Kramer check swing. Pitch was called a strike, 3-1. Is that a microphone on Coach Bastiano down there at third that he has, like on his headset there, coming off the right ear?
I think it's his pencil.
There's a pencil, okay. I didn't know if he was maybe like mic'd up with a dugout or something. I didn't know if they had some kind of communication system with the batters. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that one is off the plate for ball 4. And Latrobe a base runner with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
And that's going to bring up Luke Knipper-Smith. He is still in the lineup.
Yeah, of course, had that RBI double, scored a run in the first. Flew out to left field in the second. And picked up an RBI single in the fourth before he was picked off. Things cooling off a little bit now.
In the high 50s, and there is a breeze, cool breeze that's coming in, but the intensity and the momentum of both teams.
Yep. Keeping things warm here tonight.
Yep.
Knipper-Smith now at the plate with Kramer over on first. A 7-6 Greater Latrobe lead over Uniontown. The first pitch off the plate there to Knipper-Smith. Count 1-0. Now Hinsey looking to buckle down and throw some strikes here on the Uniontown side.
Just 1 out in the inning.
You want to give yourself a realistic chance to get down a run, a lot better than obviously getting in a hole down 2 or 3 against a team that hasn't lost a conference game all season. Hinsey will check over at first. And back safely there is Kramer. Started at 7 o'clock tonight. We're 2 hours and 36 minutes in. Top of the 7th inning.
Still inning and 2/3 to go.
Yes. Well,
an inning and a half, I should say.
Well, actually less than that. We're in the top of the 7th. Next pitch on the way, and this one chopped on the right side. Diving effort there for Musco to knock it down, but he's not going to have a play on it.
He's just beating himself to death over there. Made a great effort to get to that ball. Really no chance to have any kind of a play,
No.
so we're going to rule that as single.
For sure. Now 2 on, 1 out. And Brody Ruman coming to the plate now for Greater Latrobe. Ruman 1 for 3. Lone hit a single back in the first inning, ended up scoring a run. Struck out in the second, flew out in the 5th.
It's really not a hard hit ball there by Knipper-Smith, but just in the wrong place for there to be any kind of a play.
Talk all the time about just putting the ball in play, and that's what Knipper-Smith did that time, and it paid dividends for the Wildcats. First pitch here to Ruman off the plate for ball 1. Greater Latrobe 6 runs in that top of the first, scored their only other run in the game in the 4th inning off an RBI single from Knipper-Smith that scored Amatucci. Hinsey from the stretch.
Looking for outs.
Yes, any way you can get them right now. The glance back at second. Delivery here. This ball popped up, but in foul territory from Ruman. No play on it for the Red Raiders defensively. Count now even at 1-1. Starting to get deep into the night here at Bailey Park.
Hinsey trying to maintain his concentration.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on for Greater Latrobe. Wildcats lead at 7-6. 1-1 pitch on the way, and this one popped in foul territory here on the near side. Nails charging, unable to make a play on it from the third base bag. But 2 strikes now on Brody Ruman. And the Red Raiders going to the bottom half of the 7th. We'll have hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up. Cam Jackson, Wyatt Nails, and Austin Grega. As it stands right now, they'll need 1 to extend the game and 2 to walk it off. They need to get out of this top half of the 7th inning with no additional damage being done. Braden Hinsey, the freshman, on in relief of Austin Grego on the mound. And runners diving back without a throw. And now the pitch over the plate is off the plate.
That kind of threw things way,
that was way out of whack. 2-2 now to Ruman. Guys diving without throws.
Musco was sneaking in behind him.
Yes. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on for Greater Latrobe. Ruman at the plate. Hinsey another glance back at second. 2-2 pitch here. Again sent foul into the netting by the junior second baseman Brody Ruman.
Stays 2-2. What time did you say that rain was coming?
11 o'clock. Well, that would be something, wouldn't it? Get a deluge right now. What would they do? Come back from Latrobe tomorrow to finish it off. Another 2-2 pitch. Hinsey to Ruman. It's on the way, and it's high for ball 3, and now we're full at 3-2. Big spot here, Gary. Eli Boring due up next. He's been on base safely in 2 of 3 plate appearances.
Hinsey needs to find the lower part of the strike zone here, possibly get something on the ground.
Situations, throw a strike, kid.
Double play depth, shortstop and second base for the Red Raiders. 1 out in the inning.
Here we go again. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Wow.
What a big strikeout for the freshman Braden Hinsey. And 2 away here in the top half of the 7th inning.
That's going to bring up Boring. He is 1 for 2. Walked in the first, scored a run. Singled in the 5th and was picked off at first.
And Bob Gregg telling me, Gary, if it did rain tonight, couldn't be finished, it would be a final. They would not come back this juncture of the game. Appreciate Bob checking in.
There you have it.
So now Eli Boring at the plate. Boring batting from the left side. First pitch high and inside for ball 1. Again, Boring's night. Walked and scored a run back in the first inning. Popped up to Mason Kuhn, the second baseman, in the 3rd. An infield single in the 5th.
Hit that line drive to second. That was that shot.
End up getting picked off after that.
Yeah.
Now the 1-0 pitch, high and inside, 2-0 to Eli Boring. Dom Carini, who had the walk-off home run last night against Uniontown.
On deck.
2 up next, behind Boring, if they get to him. And Hinsey back on the mound here for Uniontown. 2-0 counts to Eli Boring. Another glance back at second. Pitch on the way.
Oh,
this is a rip. Look out here.
Oh, my.
Deep to right field and over the wall and gone. A 3-run home run from Eli Boring. His first home run of the season extends the Greater Latrobe lead to 10-6 over Uniontown. Wow.
That was a blast. Off the bat, you just knew it had a chance. It was not a high hit ball, but just clearing that right field wall. Count 3 runs.
And Gary, you look back at the last 2 games. We mentioned Carini last night. Came up to bat against Uniontown, only his second plate appearance of the season. Walks off the game with a home run. And Boring entered play today, just a 139 average. 6 runs driven in so far this season, and he belts a 3-run home run that scores Jacob Kramer and Niper Smith and extends the Greater Latrobe lead now to 10-6 over Uniontown. And we're going to have a pitching change here on the Uniontown side. And tough for the freshman Hinsey. He battled Gary here in the 7th inning, coming on in relief of Austin Grego.
So now coming on for the Red Raiders, that looks like number 19.
Yes, the new pitcher would be Caleb Bartok. I'll give you some numbers on Bartok as well so far this year. Bartok, this will be just his second appearance, has not factored in any decisions, has a 3.00 ERA. Bartok working 2 1/3 innings. Has yet to give up a hit, but did give up a run. It was earned. Struck out 3, walked 2, and faced 9 batters so far this season. So Bartok will try to finish things off here for Uniontown. But again, the Red Raiders now a much taller task, Gary, as we'll move into the bottom half of the 7th inning here eventually tonight. Down now by a score of 10-6.
Absolutely. That was a shot that really put a kind of a knife in the back of the Red Raiders, and they're going to have their work cut out for them in the bottom half of the 7th, assuming we can get out of this inning with no more damage. But as you said, Hinsey came and he was putting it putting down the Latrobe Wildcats, but just one opportunity there that he sent one straight down the middle, and taking advantage of that was Eli Boring. Give him credit. He stroked that ball nicely.
Yes. Yeah, big time hit. And again, for a lot of you folks just joining us here tonight, we had a 53-minute first inning. Latrobe sent 10 men to the plate in the top half of the inning, scored 6 runs. Uniontown came back, sending 8 men to the plate and scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the inning. The Red Raiders chipped away all night, got 2 more in the bottom half of the second inning to cut the score to 6-4. Latrobe came back with an RBI single from Kniper, Smith driving in Amatucci to extend the lead to 7-4 in the top half of the fourth. Red Raiders come back on the 2-run home run from Musco to make it 7-6. And now Greater Latrobe coming back with the 3-run home run to make it 10-6 as we now continue this top half of the 7th inning. And the third pitcher of the night, Bartok, coming in here for Uniontown.
First pitch was a ball.
And now the second pitch also
in
there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Dom Carini is at the plate right now for Greater Latrobe.
He's 1 for 3.
And Bartok coming in after that home run given up by Hinsey to Eli Boring as the count now moves to 2-1. Bartok, like Hinsey, Gary, only a freshman.
Got some size on that freshman.
Red Raiders have some pretty good up-and-comers, but Bartok hitting Carini in the back there. And Carini will take first base. And Vince Gasky will come to the plate.
7th batter in the inning now for Latrobe.
Gasky 1 for 3 today.
So doing damage in the first and last inning.
Yes. A good bookend game for the Wildcats tonight.
Be a
Going to be a pinch runner here unless they're going to check Carini to make sure he's not hurt. He's going to check out, get a little more added speed. Never know if you might need the insurance the way this game's gone tonight. Bartok now at the pitch there and chopped foul by Gasky. Count moves to 0-1. And the Red Raiders will play Laurel Highlands next week. Mustangs officially eliminated from playoff contention tonight after a loss against Ringgold. Rams certainly still in the playoff hunts. The Red Raiders fall, and Bell Vernon was able to hang on to knock off Albert Gallatin tonight, have a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the conference. Of course, Ringgold will battle Albert Gallatin next week in a series which will likely decide a playoff spot. That pitch high and inside from Bartok to Gasky.
It's a 1-game play-in if there's a tie, right, Brian?
Well, you'd have, if they split the season series, both teams would get in. If you had a team that swept the other team, and they're even in the standings, then the team with the sweep would go.
Okay, so it's head-to-head.
Head-to-head, yes. Another one off the plate there from Bartok to Gasky. Again, as far as this conference is concerned, you'll probably have about a 2-week gap between the end of the regular season and the start of the WPIAL playoffs. For a lot of conferences that have 7 or 8 teams, there are conference games going on the week of May 6th. This ball chopped here and through on the left side between Wyatt Nails and Austin Grego in the left field. Tyler Gasper with a relay coming in, but a single from Vince Gasky.
So the inning continues.
Yes, extends the inning, and now you'll have Cooper Bassiano as the 8th Wildcat to bat here in the top half of the 7th inning. Red Raiders using their 3rd pitcher of the night. Grego got the start, Hinsey on in relief. And now Bartok pitching, 2 of the 3 freshmen for the Red Raiders, Hinsey and Bartok. Now Bassiano, who's 1 for 3 so far in this game. RBI single back in the first, his lone hit. That ball hopping away there from the catcher Hunter Smiley. Runners advance with the courtesy runner here on the near side. Getting down to 3rd, that's Riley Smith, who actually got the start last night for Latrobe on the mound against Uniontown. He's down to 3rd. And Gasky into 2nd. Now time called. Get a little discussion here between Bartok and Smiley. Red Raiders just want to get it here to the bottom of the 7th, Gary.
Absolutely, and give it their best shot.
Yep.
But made it a lot more difficult, as you said earlier, with that 3-run homer that extended that 1-run lead to a 4-run advantage. That's like mega insurance.
Yes. Always look at what could have been. I mean, you don't give up those 6 runs in the first. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But things happen.
Absolutely.
And the Red Raiders just got off to that rough start early on today. Almost got out of the hole. But Latrobe appears to have put the dagger on the Red Raiders here in the top half of the 7th inning. And that pitch from Bartok again off the plate to Bassiano.
2-0.
Yep. Lead at 4 for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown at 10-6. Game 2 hours and 51 minutes in.
Longer than most Major League
Yes,
games.
they're going over the Major League average right now, or close to it. Another pitch missed there from Bartok takes the count to 3-0. We're playing 7, not 9, too.
Right.
And the start of the game, 53-minute first inning. Bartok long. Look in there. That pitch off the plates. That'll be ball 4.
Well, this inning itself might be another 50 minutes.
Yes, the way it's going. You're going to have Mason Leonard in the top of the order now up for Latrobe. Leonard, the 9th Wildcats at bat here in the top of the 7th. And we might have another pitching change here for Uniontown. We will. This will be the second pitching change of the inning. Hinsey actually started the inning. Bartok on in relief, and now we're going to get a
like Gasper.
third pitcher here as well. Yeah, Mike Lee Gasper. And he'll come on. So the base is juiced. Leonard is 1 for 4 today. Lone hit that leadoff triple, which got things started in the top half of the first inning and actually scored the game's first run. He's been quiet since. Entered the game with a .447 average and 11 runs driven in.
It's like Hinsey going back out to left field. That's a re-entry.
I'll tell you about Tyler Gasper, the new Red Raider pitcher. Gasper making his 5th appearance of the season. 0-1 record, 4.67 ERA. Gasper has worked 12 innings, given up 9 hits, 12 runs, 8 of them earned. Struck out 14 and walked 12 so far this season, facing 61 batters. Will come in here with the Wildcats having the bases loaded.
Already
2 outs.
3 runs in the inning.
Yep, off the 3-run home run from Eli Boring. That was only the 3rd home run hit by Greater Latrobe as a team this year, and 2 of the 3 home runs, obviously the last 2 nights. The Kinney home run off of Grego, who came on in relief of Tate Musco last night in the 7th inning. Then, of course, Boring's home run off of Hinsey here. The only other home run Kniper Smith had earlier on this season for Greater Latrobe. Now their bats have really come through in a timely fashion, Gary. Some well-chosen spots for those home runs over the last 2 nights. And the last one, if you go back to last night, at least on the Uniontown side, the Red Raiders thought it was a book rule double, but ruled a home run by the home plate umpire. Uniontown saying that that ball bounced over the fence in left field last night at Graham Sabota Field.
That's one thing that helps with the background like they have here at Uniontown.
Yeah, it's more definitive.
You have no problem.
And plus, you don't have the rubber turf where the ball's going to bounce. You're not bouncing a ball over the fence here at Bailey. Unless you have about a 5-week stretch of no rain in August.
Yeah.
So top of the order again, Mason Leonard. Tyler Gasper, the new pitcher here on the Uniontown side with the bases loaded.
You know what, Brian, I have to look back, but that might have been Porterfield batting for Kinney.
That last at-bat.
That one got hit by a pitch.
Okay, I got you.
And that's why we have the
courtesy runner on. I got you. You're probably right. And again, those numbers.
Hard to see.
Yeah, hard to see because you have just the outline. It's basically black on black. Just the orange little outline. And when they're behind home plate, especially from our angle, very, very difficult to pick up.
And
And
there's
that
a
ball getting
pass
away
ball.
there from the catcher, Smiley, sliding into home safely is Riley Smith to extend the lead now to 11-6 for Greater Latrobe over Uniontown. You have the other runners advance as well. Gasky down to third. Bastiano into second. Lead now at 5. And 2 outs here in the inning. The count now 1-0 to Mason Leonard.
Floodgates have opened.
Yes, they have. 4 runs scored now in the top of the 7th for the Wildcats. Another pitch low there from Gasper. Good block that time from Hunter Smiley. We're over 3 hours in our broadcast, Gary, from the time we signed on with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show.
Our sponsors are getting a lot of airtime.
They're sure they appreciate it. Appreciate all of you joining us for this Facebook Live exclusive tonight, Uniontown and Greater Latrobe from Bailey Park. And a called strike there on Mason Leonard takes the count to 2-1.
Mason Leonard with that big triple to start things off in the first inning.
Another pitch missing there, taking us to 3-1.
First base open, so.
You have Amatucci due up next,
Yep.
looking to bat for the second time this half inning. This ball chopped to shorts. Grego there, throw over to first. It was low. Was it dug out? It was not.
He did not. So that's an error on the throw. And scores another run.
Gasky scoring. Makes it now 12-6 as the Wildcats have doubled up the Red Raiders. Now 5 runs scored here in the top of the 7th inning by Greater Latrobe. And for the second time in this game, the Wildcats completely bat around as Amatucci will bat for the second time this inning.
And he started with a little fly ball to left.
Correct.
Looked
That was
like
caught by Gasper, and Gasper now pitching.
Looked like a inconsequential inning, which
Correct, yeah.
turned around really quick.
Yeah, I had the walk to Kramer, infield single from Kniper Smith. Ruman struck out, but then as we mentioned, the real dagger, the Eli Boring 3-run home run. And Latrobe's been able to continue things since. Now first pitch swinging here. This one grounded to third. Wyatt Nails there. Another one hopper over to first.
No good.
Musco unable to hang on to.
Wow.
And everybody's safe.
Another error.
You had Bastiano score on the play as well. Makes the lead now 13-6 Greater Latrobe. Lead at 7. So Latrobe, Gary, in this
Another
game scored
scored
6 in the first and 6 in the 7th, but only 1 run scored in between. That came in the 4th. Just a wild box score tonight. And now you have Jacob Kramer at the plate.
He walked and scored on the home run.
He's the 11th Wildcat to bat here in this 7th inning. This game, to say the least, Gary's been a bit nuts. Next pitch to Kramer. That one low and in the dirt. Hops away from Smiley. They're headed home.
Cover.
Nobody's covering the bag.
Wow.
Nobody covering the bag. And Latrobe will score its 14th run of the night. Nobody came home.
So that's Leonard scoring.
It's unfortunate, Gary, for as well as Uniontown played in this comeback.
Just one inning.
To have things fall apart like this. That's fundamental stuff right there. You get the ball coming back. Somebody needs to come home and cover home plate. You would have had a sure out, too.
Well, that's the pitcher.
Yep.
I don't even think he saw it get away, though.
Yeah, it could have been the issue there. That one low. Now 14-6. Top of the 7th. We started this inning, it was 7-6.
It's a hush over
Yes,
Bailey Park.
I mean, as excited as things were for the Red Raiders in that bottom of the 6th when you had Musco coming to the plate with Kuhn on, down a run. And then the pop fly in foul territory that was caught there by Stinchula. end of that rally, but Uniontown still thinking they have a fighter's chance, down a run going into the 7th, now yielding 7 runs here in the top of the 7th inning. Another pitch missing inside. That's going to be another walk issued here to Jacob Kramer. Kramer walking twice this half inning.
12th batter now is Luke Nyper-Smith, and
he's had 3 hits in this game.
Yeah.
A couple of RBIs. Scored a run back in the 1st inning. Scored a run here in the 7th, too, on the home run from Boring. You have runners on 1st and 2nd. And 7 already across for the Wildcats.
Begging for an out
yes. Now. Another pitch getting away there from Smiley. Runners advance.
Jeez.
That was a wild pitch. Off the plate. Now 2 in scoring position. And Coach Bastiano still coaching his guys down there. Down at 3rd. Leading by 8.
So if it rains now.
If it rains now, Latrobe would win, yes.
But it reverts back to the prior inning, though, right?
It's popped up.
So it'll be 7-6.
Yes, and Wyatt Nails will make the catch to end a very long top half of the 7th inning in which the Wildcats sent 12 men to the plate and scored 7 runs to extend the lead over Uniontown to 14-6. We'll come back and bring you the bottom half of the 7th inning in just a moment. Here in the C. Arparado Group High School Sports Night here on WMBS, the Tremba Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. And Gary will tell you more about some of our fine sponsors, including Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people and not insurance companies. Our lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, estate law, municipal law, and a very rounded legal experience. Throughout decades of work, Davis & Davis has successfully represented thousands of cases in local, state, and federal courts. For more information on how to contact Davis & Davis and the services that can be provided, call 724-437-2799.
Can they help us with getting some overtime pay for tonight, Gary?
Probably.
It's been a long one.
I'll have to bring that up.
Yeah.
Contact Uniontown Allstate agent Russ Blejo for a free quote for home and car insurance near you, located on Lebanon Avenue in Uniontown. Call Russ at 724-439-9700. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate, and protects you from mayhem like the top of the 7th inning.
Yes. Well, let's see with the bottom of the 7th. You never know, Gary. I mean, it's as wild of a game as this has been. Anything can happen. You'll have hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up here for Uniontown. Cam Jackson, Wyatt Nails, and Austin Grego. Appreciate all of our sponsors, not only here tonight, but throughout the course of the season, supporting local high school sports here on WMBS and on our digital platforms as well. Brian Moroznak along with Gary Frankhauser tonight. Billy Dice behind the camera. Nice to have you along with us for a Tuesday night of high school baseball action. We're back next week with the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. A couple of games both on the radio and on Facebook Live. Monday we're over at Landman Field for Uniontown at Laurel Highlands. 4 o'clock start, 3:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. And then Tuesday back here at Bailey Park on the air at 6:40 with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. First pitch scheduled for 7 o'clock. So Cam Jackson trying to get things started facing Hayden Porterfield. Porterfield probably needed an extended warm-up there after that long top half of the 7th inning. Found the strike zone on the first pitch to Jackson. Now the 0-1. That one a little bit inside. Evens things up at 1-1. Jackson got on via an air. Scored a run back in the first inning. Singled in the second, was caught stealing, and then walked and was picked off in the fourth. 1-1 pitch here. Misses to take the count to 2-1. And Gary already working on our post-game game summary. Have to carry a lot of ones, and Jackson with a line drive here and a little one-hopper that's going to get by the left fielder Mason Leonard. Jackson on his way to second. He'll hold up there, and Uniontown starting off the bottom of the 7th inning, Gary, with a double to left field, so don't go away yet.
Absolutely. We've seen it happen.
Uniontown scoring, again, 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the second. and 2 in the fourth. So they haven't had the 7-run and 6-run innings like Latrobe has had tonight, but they've had some consistent innings throughout the course of the evening. Now Wyatt Nails coming to the plate. Wyatt 1 for 3 today. Big hit, a 2 RBI single back in the first. Grounded out in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth. Has driven in 11 runs so far this season for Uniontown. His bat can have a punch. Porterfield's first pitch to Nails, and therefore a strike 0-1. And the double from Jackson, Gary, was the first hit that Porterfield has given up since he came on in relief of Kniper Smith in the fourth inning. Kniper Smith pulled after giving up that 2-run home run to Tate Musco. A foul ball there from Wyatt Nails. Takes the count to 1-2.
Nails to keep things going here.
Nobody out in the bottom of the seventh, but Uniontown down 8. Porterfield with a 1-2 now to Nails. And Nails swinging and coming up empty for strike 3. I mean, the first out of the inning. Second time Nails has gone down. And for Porterfield, that's his 4th strikeout. Now Austin Grego coming to the plate. Grego 1 for 3, lone hit back in the first inning, single to left field. Struck out in the third, grounded out in the 5th. Jackson on second, now 1 out. First pitch here to Grego. Big time cut, nothing there. Now Jackson heading down to third, wide throw, a little collision over there at third. Jackson's all right, he's safe. Kind of a hard hit there in a Stenchula.
Yeah, good hustle there by Jackson, but really his run doesn't mean anything.
No, I agree. Jackson also a running back on the Uniontown football team this past fall.
They've also made some serious strides the last couple of years.
Yes, they have. Playing as an independent. Jackson will graduate here from Uniontown coming up in June as that one fouled off by Grego.
It's the light standard and ricochets back into play.
Didn't knock the lights out, though, which is a good thing. The lights are still on past 10 o'clock, so that's a good sign, too, Gary. They're not on the timer tonight. And Grego now will step back in. Behind 0-2 on the count. Jackson halfway down the line from third, and the pitch in there for strike 3. And down goes Austin Grego. So back-to-back strikeouts from Hayden Porterfield, and now 2 down. Red Raiders down to their final out, down 8 at 14-6.
That's going to bring up Smitley. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Got the start as the designated hitter here today for Uniontown. Came into the game with a .333 average. Porterfield trying to finish off the Red Raiders. Jackson again halfway down the line, breaking ball, and therefore a strike 0-1 to Gary Smitley. Again, the Wildcats, big series next week, taking on Bell Vernon, battle for first place in Section 2. And they'll fire down to third after the pitch from Porterfield missed there to Smitley to even up the count at 1-1. So their eyes on Jackson. Now Porterfield trying to finish off the game. 1-1 pitch here to Smitley. Swing and a miss. And now the Red Raiders down to their final strike. And Porterfield ready for what he hopes is one last pitch. Into Gary Smitley. It's a fastball swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will do it. So 3 straight strikeouts to end the game from Hayden Porterfield and the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, which turned out to be a battle with Uniontown tonight. The final score won't indicate it, as the Wildcats scored 6 in the first, got a run in the fourth, and then 7 in the top half of the 7th inning for a 14-6 win over the Uniontown Red Raiders. Time of the game tonight, 3 hours and 9 minutes. 20 total runs scored, and the Wildcats win it 14-6. And Gary now will have your game summary.
Putting it all together, Brian, the Red Raiders, 6 runs, as you said, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth. They did have 8 hits. They left 5 men on base. They had 3 errors, most of those in the last two of those in the seventh inning that resulted in that 7-run seventh inning for Latrobe. Big hitters for the Red Raiders. Tate Musco 3 for 4 with that 2-run homer, 3 RBIs, and Cam Jackson was 2 for 3 for the Red Raiders. For the Latrobe Wildcats, a whole bunch of marks on the score sheet as we had to move things around a lot. They had 14 runs, 13 hits. They committed 1 error. They left 5 men on base. Some hitting prowess for Latrobe. And Amatucci, 2 for 4. Jacob Kramer, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Luke Notpar-Smith, 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. And the big home run in the 7th inning by Eli Boring. He was 2 for 4. That 3-run homer, 3 RBIs for him. So as you said, it was a competitive game till the last inning. Red Raiders giving up 7 runs in that 7th inning, but came back from a 6-0 deficit early on. Give them a lot of credit and a good outing by Austin Grego. He had to come out in that 7th inning, reaching the 100-pitch mark, and that told the tale.
Yeah, we're back on the air Monday. The Uniontown Red Raiders traveling to Laurel Highlands to take on the Mustangs, both on the radio and on Facebook Live on the air with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show at 3:45. First pitch from Landman Field set for 4 o'clock. Gary, enjoyed it as always.
Absolutely. It's a competitive game, and even though it went for, as you said, over 3 hours, we had a lot of excitement and enjoyment watching this action until we got to that 7th inning but give Latrobe a lot of credit. They did what they had to do in that inning.
Can't have to thank Billy Dice behind the camera, my broadcast partner Gary Frankhauser tonight. This is Brian Morozek saying have yourselves a pleasant good evening. Again, your final score from Bailey Park in Uniontown. The Raider Latrobe Wildcats 14 and the Uniontown Red Raiders 6. So long, everybody, from downtown Uniontown.